cut it off in the middle there. Hi, hello, everybody. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Hopefully everybody's doing well and feeling well. Ronan, Ryan, Sean, what's going on? Latimer, Flynn, Stingray, Wordy, what's going on? I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're feeling well, doing well. Hope you're safe with whatever the weather is. It seems like everybody is living in a heat wave, no matter where you are on the planet, which is unfortunately very thematic. So, I just hope everybody's doing all right. Shush. Okay, shush. I will shush. Okay, that's going to be a bad stream if I do that. But yeah, I hope everybody's doing all right, and I hope you don't mind that we are streaming. I mean, we're literally starting when we normally end. I just kind of wanted to stream a little bit, and I was going to try and stream earlier at around the regular time, or at least a little bit later, but not much later. But I just got caught up doing some stuff and taking care of a couple things, so I figured I would go, stream at a little bit of a different time, which, and Sean, you kind of said it perfectly. You said afternoon stream. I feel like sometimes when I stream at different times, it gives different people a chance to watch. People who leave early or they show up late, that means if I start a little bit late or I start a little early, we might give other people a chance to be in here and hang out. Ronan, I haven't turned my fan off for the last few weeks. Ronan, let me tell you about this thing, right? It's called an air conditioner, right? You get it and you set it up and it's awesome. And if people make fun of you for having an air conditioner because you live, who cares? It's awesome. KH. Oh, excuse me. KH Sorcerer, thank you so much. In the home with a tier 1 subscribe for 53 months. Good to see you, KH. Good to see all of you. It is always good to see you guys. Like I said, I am going to try and stream a little bit more. Just, it's not going to be super duper regular, but when I get the chance and I'm able to, I'm going to try and stream a little bit more. And, stuff is going to be sporadic as far as like what we do and games and whatnot. But I want to play something today that I think is going to work very well for that. I have no space for a fan. I have a cooling towel I put on my head. What do you mean you don't have space for a fan? Like you don't have a small... Fans aren't all really big. I have one here. Hold on. Can you see it? Yeah, I have one of these. This is the fan that I used to have at work, but I had to bring everything home from work. This is a really, really good fan, and it's not that large. The problem is when it gets really hot, it feels like it's just blowing the hot air around. But when that hot air or that moving air blows on your skin and you're sweating, it feels so good. What they used to teach us in school? Remember how you make the paper fan and you fan yourself? They used to teach us don't do that because you're using energy to move the fan, so it's making you hotter. I'm like, no, I feel much better when I do that, so I'm going to go ahead and keep on doing that. They randomly got on Twitch and bam. In my town, heat is so bad we get 50% off electricity bills so we can leave the AC on. That's actually super cool. I like that. I live in a house that had to be dehumidified. What's this? That had to be dehumidified. Can't afford to have AC. Well, I don't know. You don't put it on all the time. What I used to do was I would have the AC on during the day, and then at night you just turn it off and you just have a fan. And as long as you keep the windows closed, since there's no sunlight coming in through the windows, it usually stays pretty cool. And then by the time you start to heat up overnight, you just turn the AC back on. I mean, however everybody has to do it. It's just a matter of getting through it all. I've had the AC on 24/7. It blows. Wait, hold on. It blows as in the AC works well, or it blows as in it's a bad thing that it's that hot? Basically I have no more outlets to plug it into. You got to get the surge protector. You got to get the big, go to Best Buy or go to Home Depot. You know who's got good ones? Home Depot has good ones. They got like the 8 and 12 plug-in things. That's what I have. I have like 4 or 5 of those where I can plug in 8 things. Which theme park in the coasters? What is this AC you speak of? Atlantic City, Animal Crossing, Assassin's Creed, and Ace Combat. Isn't it crazy that it's so hot, the road suffering damage and taking out cars? That happened a couple of years ago in like Northwest United States, where it's always gloomy and kind of like it's always foggy and not too hot up there, but they had heat that was so bad it was buckling the roads. In Portland, Oregon, they had heat that was so bad it was buckling the roads. UAV inbound. Be a man like us Brits and just suffer in ovens and complain about it. Lilac, we can have AC and not suffer and still complain. You know, we're Americans. We complain about everything. We complain that people don't complain right. Was this family? So the electric bill is up because of how low I set it. Okay. Assetto Corsa. Why do I know that name? What is that? I knew you're a fake fan. No Armored Core. Oh, yeah, you're right. I didn't say Armored Core. Wait, Active Climax. Wait, Active Climax. Is that safe for... Can we say that on stream? Active Climax? Gigantic wooden roller coaster in Knott's Berry. Oh, there's a gigantic wooden roller coaster in Knott's Berry. I'm reading the rest. How to develop a big pothole and took out like 15 cars. It's a racing game. Timed climax. Is that like when you count down from 10? It's okay. Yeah. Assetto Corsa is racing. Oh my god, I almost said racing climax. Racing simulator. Okay. Thank you so much for the streaks, by the way. I appreciate that, Ronan and KH and Sean. Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about my weekend. I want to talk about TMG. It was. There's some stuff that has to be said about too many games, and I want to show off my pickups. I did actually get a few pickups, and then I want to play one of those pickups. I want to try one of them with you guys here. Well, you know, I'm going to try it on stream. So, so my weekend began Thursday. I went up Thursday, and good or bad. Okay. A little teaser, Latimer. I had a very, very, very good weekend. And very little of that had to do with too many games. The good weekend was basically everything but the convention. Outside of some other stuff that went on, which is personal, but it's not really. It's kind of related to the issue, and it's not related to the issue. But I will talk about the part that I can talk about. But yeah, we'll get into that. Here's something like TMG in New Orleans, or to be called Too Many Games Stolen. I heard it was a gay old time in Philly. Did I pick up chicks? No, I did not pick up chicks. I don't know. Time comma is just the name for the time between snapping your pasta and the Italian coming to take you out. Normally for me, it's reversed, where all the good is the con and everything else is the issue. Did someone try to sell the guy game again? Yes. Ryan, yes, there was another vendor that had the guy game. I am not kidding you. There was another vendor that had it. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they said anything to them, but there was another vendor that had the guy game. For anybody that doesn't know, the guy game is one of those sort of pervy type games. If I remember right, it had pictures of actual women in it, but it turned out that one of the women was 17 when it happened, and they didn't know, but it means that the game is technically illegal to sell. And there was a vendor that had it last year, and they apparently did tell them about it, so they took the game down. But I question whether or not they took it down or the game sold. But apparently another one did have it this year, so that happened again. And I won't blame TMG for that. I will absolutely blame the vendor. What I will blame TMG for would be if somebody told them and they still didn't do anything about it. But they did actually do something about it last year. They went to the vendor and they told them what was going on. You know, I will not give the vendor the benefit of the doubt and say that they didn't know that they weren't supposed to sell it, because it was marked up hundreds of dollars. So they at least knew they had something rare, which means that if I just searched guy game, I'm probably going to get an article or a breakdown of why that game is illegal to sell. So I would not say that the vendor, oh, well, we didn't know, we made an oopsie. No, but I would say that the convention, they're not going to scrutinize everybody's inventory. So I would imagine that they put it out there, and then, like I said, you know, they didn't know. But then last year when they found out, they did get on them for it. So I give them that. But another one tried it this year. You know, you'll also probably be put on a list. That I'll be honest, Latimer, that's not a bad idea. I think that the convention should do that, or where they say, like, listen, you can't sell this game here, blah blah blah, and then you put them down and you say, this is something that they did wrong and we need to watch them next year. I don't even know which vendor it was. I don't know if it was the same vendor or not, but I was joking. Yeah, I know one guy at Terrence's booth had booze. There was apparently a booth where they would give you a little bit of Hennessy if you asked them. I'm going to go ahead and assume they weren't giving it to kids or underage people, but it was kind of, maybe it's a symptom of what I'm going to talk about with the convention. So first I want to talk about my weekend. So I got down there, and I'm going to have to intermingle some of the TMG stuff with it. But I got there Thursday and I jumped right in the pool. Well, I put my stuff away, put my swim trunks on, and I hopped in the pool. The convention started Friday, so I wanted to get there a day early. I shared a room with Matt, and we, just sort of hung out. And then, I started meeting other people. Like I put it up on Thursday, like who's here, so we can, figure out who wanted to go to dinner. Yeah, drove straight into the pool. No, I actually took mass transit up there. My car is still down, so I took mass transit up there, and it was about 2 hours to get there, which isn't bad. If it was a drive, it was 45 minutes, but it was about 2 hours for me to get there, waiting for the different buses and everything. It was actually not a bad ride. It was actually nice and peaceful. I put my headphones in, and that was it. And so I got up there, hung out, relaxed a little bit. The next day, drove the bus or the train straight into the pool. Carpool. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, it's good to hit that button again. So Friday, wake up, have breakfast, just wait for everybody because we're going to wait for the other people to show up. Go to the convention and now we get to the convention. All right, so now I'm at the convention. I bought a weekend pass. I don't do the extra passes anymore. I don't do like the final boss pass, the mini boss pass. They always come with a little swag, like a bag and an extra shirt and stuff, but it's so much more money that it's just not worth it for me to do. They used to also do a party. I don't know if they still do that. I think they did it last year, but I don't know if they still do it. So, so I bought the weekend pass, waited in line, went in. So TMG is growing. TMG, they had this big banner. Hey, Sondox. Whoa, hey, Sondox. CT, what's going on? Did you happen to see the Of the Devil booth? No, I don't think I saw that. I saw everything, but as far as the vendor floor. Was anyone there dressed as Cool Spot? No, but now I kind of want to do that. Don't normally get a guest pass from John. No, they only give John a couple of guest passes, so sometimes I get it. Sometimes we'll give it to somebody else. Elliot will take it, or Nora gets it. Nora was only there for a day this time. She only went up Friday. So, so I just buy. I don't count on that. Sometimes I get it, and sometimes I buy my pass. So let's start once you go into the convention. TMG is growing. They had this big banner that was talking about, it had every year, when it wasn't called TMG and where it was and attendance amounts, and then they kind of went up, and you see it literally it's almost exponentially growing throughout the year. Like it's just more and more people, or steadily growing. I shouldn't say exponentially. So last year was, I believe, the first year that they basically had a security company. Normally they have a couple of cops or something at the front. They have a table where they can check your bags and, maybe wand you, the little wand thingy. Last year was the first year they had a security company, which was dudes in polo shirts, the metal detector that you walk through, like all of that stuff. And I'm not a big fan of that. It wasn't the worst thing that happened at the convention, but I'm not a big fan of that. It feels intrusive. Normally they had the defenders, which were basically the assistants, and then you had the cops at the table. For as long as I've been there, they got the country club security guards. I mean, yeah, kind of. That's kind of a good way to put it. People that weren't gamers, and I hate, as a nerd, as a geek, as a weird person, I hate being in places where I feel like there's people staring and saying, look at that loser, look at that weirdo. And these are the kind of people that would do it. But I don't give them too much crap. They're there doing their job. And So we go in, these guys are around. The defenders are still there. The defenders help everybody out. The vibe is just very different. When you go into the vendor floor, it looks the same as it always did, but it's just really different. I don't know. It's, and I'm going to say this now, and I'm going to keep saying this throughout our conversation. A lot of this comes down to being there for so many years. You've seen it change. Growing to normie. Yes. Ryan, you're going to understand this probably better than a lot of people here. Sondox, by the way, I noticed how aggressive, maybe not that word, but equivalent, this security was last year. I do have an aggressive, a semi-aggressive situation that I'll go over with you. It's turning into something it wasn't before. And it feels like they're crapping on what it was. So if you're there brand new, I talk to a lot of people because I like to ask people if I don't recognize them. I ask them if this was their first convention. They say yes. I talked to a lot of people that said they absolutely loved it. They had a fantastic time. They had no frame of reference for what it used to be. So for them, this was great. It was awesome. Yeah, the TMG more. No, Flynn, I'll tell you exactly what it's more of. But walking around the floor, it's not like the security guards were everywhere, right? It's not like we were living in a police state during the time there. But you walk around and I don't know. It's really hard to say. I think it was less about the vendor floor and more about everything else. And when I say everything else, I mean everything else. So TMG was really built on content creators. That, they police gamer state. That was built on content creators, right? They, John, you got your Aunt Dude. Hey, Torvald. You got your Antus and your Vinnies and your Cat Icaruses, Scott the Wazas. You got all of these people, your Spawn cast crew. And that's what it was. That's what it's always been. You go there and you wait in the line and you get an autograph and it's free and you can talk to them for a little bit and you see them maybe walking around the floor sometimes. And that was the vibe. It was nice. It was chill. We used to call it Friend Con. On not for the convention side of it, but we had a lot of people that would go there. Brain Scratch would go there, and all you guys, Ryan, all you guys would be there. You had the FCC guys that would show up. You had just a lot of people that this was their, people who weren't affiliated with any kind of content creation. It's just this was Friend Con, so they went. So everybody showed up. And slowly but surely that's starting to dwindle away. So that aspect of it is gone. And I don't blame the convention for that. But it is one aspect of it. Now, does it have to do with TMG focusing more on VAs? Yes. Now, what's happening is I'll tell you where the big signs were. They normally have a sort of VIP, it's too mainstream. Not mainstream, specific to something else. They have these like VIP areas where the creators, if you've got like a creator or a guest badge or something, it used to be a guest badge that you could go into the back area. And it was when you for anybody that's never been to one of these things, if you've ever seen a content creator walking around or a celebrity walking around, they can't really experience it the same way as everybody else. People want to stop them and they want to talk to them, and it's a lot of work for them to do that and be social for so many hours and then have to not be able to rest. So they give them a sort of VIP area where they can sit. They've got snacks set up, and you've got tables and chairs, and you can relax and take a load off and just hang out. And then you see the other people. Last year we were sitting back there, and Charles Martinet was back there. We had a bunch of the people from Baldur's Gate that were sitting around, and it was a lot of fun. It was interesting to be able to interact with these people in a way that you wouldn't normally be able to interact with them, because the sales floor and the show floor is the show floor, and that's not really the same thing. This year, they separated the voice actors from the content creators in every way possible. When you walked in, there's 3 big giant rooms in the convention. The first one was the vendor floor. The second one had all the lines and everything set up for the VAs and the other celebrities. And then the third one was the content creators. And it was like, all right, you put them all the way in the back. Yeah, Green Room always has a lot of fun stories. Ryan, the Green Room this year, they separated them, right? You had the content creator room, and then you had the voice actor room and the celebrity room. The content creator room didn't have tables. It had chairs in a big circle. There was no tables. It's like it seems like such a minor thing. But what? Are you kidding me? Like it's like, come on. They have a security guard for the people that are going to go in there, and they will check your badge to make sure that you're going to go in, that you have the right to go in there. But I watched them last year be really aggressive to people because it's on the way to an exit. So people were going into it thinking, oh, this is a way out. And then the security guard, you got to have a badge. It's just like, whoa. I'm going to the exit. They didn't know that because it wasn't properly set up. Like, it's just, that's where I like start to have a problem with like the security guard. What is this damn Flynn, that's exactly what it looked like. It looked like it was set up to have an intervention. It looked, you know what it looked like, Flynn? It looked like an AA meeting. That's what it looked like. It looked like an AA meeting. You would see it on TV. It would sit around in a circle and they would talk. Which, to be fair, we did talk to people, but you couldn't have one. Not one. I'm sorry. There were technically tables. It's where the snacks were set up. So they did technically. I mean, check what was there. So you go out to, the floor is completely separate. Airport customs. So you go out and everything is separated. John's panel is on Friday. So we go and we check out the room where John's panel is. John normally has one of the larger panels. There's normally a lot more people that show up, and so they would have to put him in the bigger room. They had him all the way in the back in the smallest panel area possible, and there were people that were standing. Like they just didn't have a choice. He wasn't even in a room. He was in one of the spaces that they set up that's on the floor, but it's surrounded by curtains. To be fair, because we were so far in the back, we were able to hear everything because we've done that before and you can't hear anything. So it was nice that we could still hear stuff. That's disrespectful. He had that, and then he had the signing later. There was a thing for him to do autographs and stuff, and he was there after they closed because there were so many people that wanted autographs and wanted to talk to him and all. So it's clearly like that's not, it's not, and it's not a mean, it's not a like I'm a bigger celebrity than this. It's just he's a bigger celebrity than that, and that's not going to be enough. It's like a Michael Jordan showed up and they gave him the room that seats 20 people. You know what I mean? Was he also pissed about the setup? Yeah, apparently a lot of people were. A lot of people were actually pissed off about this. So Friday wraps up. It just, like I said, the vibe is very different. It just doesn't feel really good. Oh, wait, but it was Wizards Michael Jordan. No, wait. What was the baseball team he played for? He did okay. I think he did okay on the baseball team. I don't think he was super terrible. What was the baseball team that Michael Jordan played for? So then Saturday rolls around, and Saturday he played for the White Sox. Okay. Did he play for the White? For some reason, I thought he played somewhere else. Oh wait, Space Jam. No, Space Jam Michael Jordan was great. What are you kidding me? Space Jam Michael Jordan was better than LeBron Michael Jordan or LeBron Michael Jordan. Space Jam LeBron. But Saturday rolls around, the vibe is really different. We're feeling it more. It's way busier than we thought, which again is a good thing because it means the con is growing and it means that it'll live long and maybe prosper. But it's now we come back to just we're having a problem with the vibe. It's really large. It's uncomfortable. The Birmingham Barons was this baseball. MJ was horrifically mediocre as a player. Of course, he played second fiddle in Chicago, but he could be worse. There have been people that have done that and gotten way worse. Yeah, on the other hand, oh no, the con is growing. Like, it is kind of like that. Halfway through Saturday, I won't get into specifics. There was con-related stuff as far as just the atmosphere and everything and the behavior of stuff. And then, oh, wait, hold on. I gotta go into Friday night. So Friday night, there is an event at the Hilton Hotel, which is not where we were, but we were going to go to the event. We said, you know what? I kind of dragged John to go. You know what I mean? We're going to get the Daisy Pixel. Oh, this was at TMG a couple of years ago. So we go, and the security guard at the hotel stops us at the door and says we're not allowed in. So I said, okay, but he's affiliated with the company that's throwing the event. Like, I'm speaking for John, and I'm like, he's affiliated with the company that's throwing the event. And it doesn't matter. You have to be staying in the hotel to go to the event. And I'm like, listen, I'm not mad at you specifically, but you have to understand this is kind of BS, that he's affiliated with the people putting on the event, and he's not allowed into the event. Eventually somebody came out, and they were affiliated, so they came in and they brought us in, and we only stayed for about 10 minutes, but it was just kind of nonsense. It was just so, this comes back to the security thing, where this was like the guy that was, you're like, I felt like I was the guy that was too ugly to get into the club. but so then right now the atmosphere is off. You know what I mean? The vibe is very, very off. Saturday, we almost don't want to go. You know, every year you kind of want to leave a little bit earlier. And this year, I would have been fine to leave halfway through. That combined with some other stuff that I won't get into came up. And as a result, John left halfway through. John left. We left there, and we went to a restaurant, and we went back to the room for a little bit. And then John left. He called an Uber. He was like, "I'm just going home. There's nothing to be here." And I think part of that was just like the lack of people that were there. Like, it would have been different if we can go and just hang out with it. Like, if it was a whole lot of people like usual, like, you know, everybody there all at once, it would have just been, I'm just not going back to the convention. I'm just going to hang out with everybody all the time, and I'm not going to go back to the convention. Yeah, what's with these weird ass changes all of a sudden? So my reasoning, Tar, is the convention's growing in size, and, you know, attendance is massive compared to what it was the year before and like last year and the year before that. So I think they're preparing for that. You know, you don't want to wait to get into a big situation and then say, we should probably think about hiring a security company. So I understand some of the changes that they're trying to make. My issue is, you can make those changes and still respect the convention that got you to this point, right? You can still have the security and the assistance and all of this stuff, and still respect the content creators who helped. I'm sorry, I'm going to sound rude like this. I'm going to sound like that guy, but, you know, the content creators are what that place is built on. They helped build that. And it is kind of disrespectful for you to be putting them very literally in the back room in order for this stuff, in order for VAs specifically. And I have no problem with VAs, but here's my issue. And this is what, Ryan, this is why I said that I think you're going to understand this. And then Ronan, you seem to understand this too. It feels like they want to be MomoCon, because I know MomoCon is big with VAs, and it feels like that's what they want to do. It feels like that's what they want to be known for. Hey, every year we're getting a whole new stable of VAs, right? Last year it was all of the Baldur's Gate people, and then this year it was a whole bunch of random people and great people, right? What's his name? Yeah, like Northeast MomoCon is kind of what it seems like. Hey, Dragoon. And hi, everybody, if I've not said hello to you. Vanilla, thank you so much. In the hunt with a tier 1 sub. Subscribe for 52 months. Hey, Uncle, hope you had a good time at TMG. Sorry I had to leave in a hurry. Don't worry. I left before you did. I had to get that Pikmin 4 background for Tetris 99. I did get it despite a shit ton of traffic. I guess I missed it, unfortunately. MobileCon 2, Philly Boogaloo. So, Marcos, thank you for this 3-stream streak. You had Jin Sakai this year, so I was a bit jealous because I wouldn't. I wanted to get my Ghost of Tsushima sign. Hey, Simple. Instead of racing out with Spirit, yeah, they got caught in the con race, and that's changing. You know, you could still be the content creator convention. You can be bring more content creators, invite more content creators. You know, last year was the first year that most of the people that were doing signings were charging $40 an autograph. The Baldur's Gate people were all charging a lot of money, but TMG was always, you don't charge. You go in and you meet your favorite content creators. And so it's kind of turning into that. It's got this big sort of semi-corporate / VA thing. And you notice a big sad theme with a lot of the big conventions. They keep kicking out the people who built them up. What's something that you look forward to in these conventions every year? I used to like the sales floor. I used to really dig that, but since I stopped retro collecting, I do still like it for the sense that they do tend to have rare items and things that are hard to find, which I did actually get a couple of things that were hard to find. I like the atmosphere of the people. I like the fact that everybody there is, for the most part, in a good mood, which is kind of why I don't like the idea of security guards, because I feel like security guards have a very dystopian sort of vibe to them. They opened up a new store near me. It's like a mini department store. It's got a whole bunch of different things, clothes and stuff. And I'm not joking. This was 2 hours ago. I went to the store because they just opened this past weekend. I think it was on the 27th while I was away. They just opened the store. I went in there. While I walked around the store, I saw 2 employees and 5 security guards. Security guards that look like they're wearing tactical vests. It's kind of hilarious, but they're wearing tactical vests, and it's like clothes and home goods. I don't like that feeling. I don't like the way that makes me feel. And when I see the security guards, I understand I don't like the way it makes me feel. And again, that's probably more a specific thing to me, but it does kind of feel sucky. Move the con to Kensington. I understand why guards exist as they live in Texas. It also doesn't help that the guards they hired are absolute utter buffoons. I don't hate an increase in security, but I get the harsh vibe. Yeah, and that's what it is. It's the vibe, and I get the security. It's not like I don't think the con's ever had an issue that required security. I know that the con has had issues before, but I don't think it ever required security. But yeah, I would say the people. I would say interacting with people. I think that's the most fun that I look forward to. But again, our friends and stuff, a lot of them just didn't show up, and that's understandable. So that I don't blame the con for that. But so John left halfway through, and then that night we went and got some dinner. I came back to the room, and I posted, like, I was looking to see what's going on with everybody, and I ended up hanging out. Me, Elliot, and Trav went to somebody's room, and we were hanging out. And there's a whole bunch of us, and that's the nothing untowards happened, right? Nothing illegal happened or anything, but we were just talking and vibing and playing games and having a great time. And I was up until 5. I went to my room at about 5 a.m. and it was great. It was probably no spin the bottle. It was probably one of the most fun times I've had at a convention. But it wasn't the convention's fault. It was the interacting with other people, and it was the hanging out and relaxing, and that was a very, very good feeling. I almost left with John when he left on Saturday. I almost left later that night. I almost left early Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. Like, there were multiple times where I just thought, I just kind of really don't want to be here anymore. Yeah, you can get breakfast. CT, the hotel does free breakfast, and it starts at 6. If I would have stayed up an hour, I would have gone downstairs and gotten free breakfast. It's wild. Hold on, let me go back up. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of ranting, and I don't like the feeling either. I notice the trend of people getting more entitled, embracing the mindset of who's going to hurt the corporation. And again, I'll say it again, it feels that way for me and a lot of other people because we've been there so long. If this was your first year, you wouldn't have noticed the difference. If you've been to other cons that have that kind of stuff, you would have come to TMG and said, yeah, that's normal. basically Rhode Island Comic-Con is a convention that is known for getting a lot of actors and VAs. That's a convention I only go to for a day, and it's fine. It's fine for one day. It would be too expensive to go any longer than that. Sorry I couldn't go this year. My budget was basically Switch 2 or TMG, and considering what I do for money right now, I went with that. We have security in pretty much every store except convenience. They dress like discount cops, black pants, black shirt, a high vis body vest, body cam. Damn, they have body cams too. Yeah, and this again, this is more of a societal problem that I have with it. I went to the supermarket one night. Like a few months ago, I was around there at night and I had to go, and there was a security guard that made me put my bag down, and I couldn't walk around with my bag, and there were like 5 security guards at the front of the door to the supermarket. And when I came and I paid and I got my bag, I said, like, if you don't mind me asking, like, what's up with the security guards? Like, when did they start this, and why is this necessary? And I knew why it was necessary, but he said because people keep stealing, and that goes on everywhere. It's probably during you and PopCon. Understand the feeling. A few years back, we had a couple of content creators who would come by and have panels like Game Grumps and Nostalgia Critic, for example. Now we've only seen 2 CCs and a bunch of VAs instead. So it's kind of interesting that that's happening. Are you and John starting to feel disconnected from TMG? I think we were starting to feel disconnected from TMG yesterday, and last year, and I don't think it's just us. I think it's a lot of people. I had more than a handful of conversations with people that were content creators and not content creators, and everybody was saying the same thing. Like, it just doesn't feel the same. It was almost validating. It was validating to talk to people and hear them say the same thing, because a lot of the time when I feel this stuff and I'm feeling kind of negative, I kind of think, is it just me? Right? Am I seeing something that's not there? But just talking to people, it's like, yeah, no, it's there. That feeling that you're having is being shared by a lot of people, and it's kind of a shame, to the point where I am thinking about not doing TMG weekends. I am thinking about whether or not, if people come up, I'll just come up and see them. Do a day, right? I'll do a day at the convention. I'll do a Friday, because I like Friday. Fridays, it's just open. It's going for a while. I don't like Saturday because Saturday's just way too crowded, even though that's the better night. See, that's the thing. I probably would do Saturday just because Saturday into Sunday is better to hang out with everybody. Friday, you have a lot of people that aren't there or they're doing something. Saturday was the night, like I said, when I went to sleep at 5, that was Saturday into Sunday. And that was probably the best night I've ever had at a convention. I'd rather go to Dallas Lawnmower Expo. I would never go to a con with the way it's just VAs as pretty much everyone. Yeah, it's so no hookers. Wait. Been getting like that more and more here too. We started with 1 or 2, now it's like 5 or 6. One plain clothes guard, and this is just a supermarket, and that's a shame that it's a shame that it has to be like that. Ryan, we were talking about. Because one of the things, going back to what I said before, we used to call it Friend Con. Really, Friend Con is anywhere that everybody decides to go. We could throw a dart at a dartboard, pick a random convention somewhere, and even though travel is going to be more expensive for some than others, decide that that's where we're all going to meet up. For the conversations that I was having, it sounds like MomoCon is the vibe. Even though MomoCon is kind of what TMG is trying to be, it sounds like MomoCon's the vibe. I want to do MagFest because I love the energy of MagFest, but I may choose next year and say MomoCon is the way to go. Now, the problem is getting me on a plane. So I have to... At some point, I'm going to have to book a short flight somewhere just to try it. So now I'm in the process of trying to find a place to go that is, maybe an hour flight, and then I can go to the airport, get on a flight, get a hotel room, and then come back the next day. Like, I need to see if I can do it because I have had bad experiences. The last experience I tried to fly was a very long time ago, and it was take the train. The train takes too long, and it costs way too much money. to go to Atlanta from Philadelphia is hundreds of dollars. And, it was definitely, and it's much faster, and it is noticeably cheaper than taking a plane. So it would have to be a plane. Joe GG, thank you so much. In the home with the tier 1 subscribe for 33 months. Hope it's going okay for you. Sad to hear things about TMG. To be fair, Philly to Atlanta isn't a very long flight, to be honest with you. John and Nora might be okay, but we'll help any way we can, of course. I definitely have to do it on my own. For that first test trip, I'll have to do it on my own. Neat. I had a friend con at a friend's house in Brussels last year. Brussels is expensive, so probably do friend con somewhere else next time. Yeah, and that's the other thing we were talking about is, would we just want to go somewhere and not do it at a convention? But I like the backdrop of the convention. The convention is a preset event, so then you can have the backdrop. Yeah, MomoCon sounds like fun. I've wanted to go for a long time. This might be the year that next year might be the year that I go. If you start out now, you'll arrive just in time for Christmas 2026. Yeah, what I saw from posts about TMG was if your friends were there, it's great. If they weren't, it felt off. And again, a lot of that is if you've been there for a long time. If you've been there once, if this was your first time, you probably didn't understand any of that. Philly to Atlanta is probably like an hour. I think it said 2 hours. I think it said something like 2 hours, but that may just be, at pumping it up a little bit. Yeah, the planned hangouts are great, but require you to find things to do. MagFest is still around. MagFest is definitely still around. So yeah, that was the weekend. I ended up staying until Monday, and then I left Monday morning. I woke up at 6, and then I got on a bus. I was on a bus at 7. I was home by like 11 or 12. Just learn to physically fly yourself, but my arms are tired. When I entered day 2 at TMG, the security mistook me for somebody that was banned at the event. Holy. Have you ever tried going to a convention alone? Yes, I have. I've gone to smaller conventions alone. Actually, no, I've gone to smaller conventions alone. And I have gone to, they call it Fan Expo now. Back in the day, it used to be Wizard World. And that's a massive convention in Philadelphia. And I've done that several times by myself. I like conventions by myself, but only ever go and come home. I've never gone on a trip to a convention for days at a time by myself. I don't particularly think I would enjoy that too much. I think I would get bored too fast. Unless there are other people there that I know, and even though I went by myself, I'm going to hang out with them, I don't know that I would enjoy that too much. I'm going to be honest. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. When I think back to some of my favorite times at TMG, and I think back to some of my favorite years and my favorite hotel experiences, I think some of my favorite ones were the ones where it was 6 of us in a room, and we all hung out, and we were, maybe we took turns sleeping on the floor. We went somewhere else. Or I would always get the chair. I like sleeping, like sort of sitting up on kind of an angle with my legs up. I used to love sleeping like that. So like I'll fall asleep on my recliner and be out for hours. So I like that. So I used to always do that. I think back to that stuff, and it was great. You just crush beers and play Smash. We didn't crush beers, Tar, but we did sometimes drink a little bit. But yeah, we would just sit there and play Smash Bros. And play other games. Like we used to record the first couple of years that we went. We would record, and we would have. And Ryan, I think you guys just did that, right? That just went up, of you guys playing. I don't remember if it was Mario Kart. I don't think it was Mario Kart, but and then it would get posted as the TMG meetup, and it was great because we would have 8-player Smash. We would do a bunch of stuff like it was a Mario Party. It was a Mario Party. Yeah, we used to do that at TMG, and we don't do that anymore because it's like 2 to a room, and then we show up at different times, and we're all doing our different things. I mean, there was a day where I didn't see Elliot. I saw Elliot in the morning, and I never saw him again. So it's just really not. It's just not what it used to be for us, and it looks like what it's becoming is probably not gonna feel all that great anymore. So now it's going to come down to, because MomoCon is so close, it would be TMG for a day and a trip to MomoCon. You know what I mean? And yeah, on a personal note, I'm really sorry that TMG has sort of lost its zest. On a personal note, I posted something and I said, the theme of 2025 seems to be change. Some of it good, some of it bad, all of it hard. That's kind of what it is. I talked to some people that, just the sort of, hey, how's it going? How's your year been? And a lot of people are just kind of, I swear we're all living a shared experience, right? A lot of people just having kind of a rough year. It was nice to come to the convention, but then it turned out the convention wasn't enough for them. It wasn't enough to sort of break that frustration that's been going on. But like I said, outside of the con, I had a fantastic time. It was wonderful. I was genuinely grateful. I hung out with Trav and Elliot, and we hung out, and we were in the room. This is a room. It's like a whole bunch of people, and then eventually Elliot went to sleep, and eventually Trav went to sleep, and I was just, we were going from place to place, and it was just nice, man. It was really nice to connect with people. I'm gonna say something that if you haven't had this, then you won't understand. But if you have had it, you're gonna understand exactly what I'm talking about. When you have a busy day and you're doing stuff, that moment at night when you're sitting around with everybody and you're just, you're in a hotel room and you're all sitting on the same bed, right? There's 8 of you and you're all sitting on the bed, or you're sitting on, there's 3 people on the couch and 6 people on the floor and 2 people in a chair, and you're just talking about stuff. You don't even have to play a game. Like those kind of nights, those are the dream that when you have it, it's amazing. And that's what it was. And it was great. And it's a shame that one of the topics was that the convention wasn't that great. I'm curious what MomoCon, what is MomoCon all about? It's basically an anime convention, from what I understand. I do think that Ryan can explain it better, that they are sort of, executor, couch in the garage nights, sitting by the fire pit and sitting there until the fire smolders. And still talking. Like, it was like that. Oh, look, we're taking it at security. Sounds pretty scary. We've had plenty of horror stories, issues at conventions over the years. This also feels like fixing. And like Dragoon, what I had said about the VIP area where they separated the creators from the VAs and stuff, it feels like they were solving a problem that was never a problem. It feels like, oh, well, like if you told me that, oh, the VAs last year got upset because people were harassing them or something, I would say, okay, yeah, you separated it. But I don't remember hearing anything about that, which I'm not the end all be all for convention news, so maybe it did. But it feels like they created a solution to a problem that didn't exist. What did Ryan say? It's anime and gaming. We get some big name guests, but it's a perfectly good vibe con too. So, yeah, overall, it was one of the best weekends I've had in a long time, and definitely one of my favorite outside of the con events, weekends that I've had. But the convention itself was kind of lackluster for us, and I saw plenty of people that were really excited. I complain about game prices and retro game prices all the time, but I watched plenty of people be very excited to see the thing that they were looking for, whether it was a game or a console or a plushie or something, and then excitedly buy it. So that's not a TMG problem. That's just a me problem and a retro collecting problem, but there were a lot of people who were fine with it. They saw their favorite game and they said, "Oh my God, I gotta buy it," and they were happy and they were excited. So I don't put all of that on TMG, but the stuff that I do put on TMG was kind of a lot. How did you meet all those people? Like, what brought y'all together? Shared people that we know. That's usually how it works. When you have a situation, I'll give you a little. I guess it's kind of behind the scenes, but when you have an event like that, when you have a thing where a lot of people even if you just know them through other people, what can and often does end up happening is you meet at somebody's room, and then maybe they're allowed to bring somebody. So like I was there, I knew a lot of the people that were there, and I did not know half of the people that were there. Maybe I had met them once or twice, or a lot of them, it was my first time meeting them. But I went because Trav and Elliot were going. And they brought me in. And then by the end of it, we were shaking hands and hugging. And we were all cool with each other. We spent enough time with each other, even though it was 1 or 2 nights. We spent enough time with each other to understand these are good people. These are decent people. And that's really all you need. Oh, it was Ryan, it was I don't know half of you half as well as I should like, and I like less than half of you half as much as you deserve. Because I always love that line. Maybe there's other good stuff in King of Prussia. Well, we did that, Flynn. We did that last year. Because they had the final boss party, which if you were a creator or a guest, back last year they were just guests. If you were a guest, you were allowed to go to that party. So we went and they did it at Arnold's. Arnold's is like the family fun center that's right near there. That's got a bunch of stuff in a bowling alley. We ended up bowling. We bowled like 2 or 3 games that night. That was last year. Trav and Elliot seemed like a fun pair to be around. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a ton of fun. The kind of disappointed at the weekend was lackluster. I was excited to go, and it seems like people aren't interested in TMG anymore. I would still say go. I would still say go for you to have the experience yourself. What I will say, though, is try to go with friends. Try to get people together. Whether it is a bunch of friends that go with you or you're going to meet up with people. That's what I would say. Because if you're going to rely on the convention to be your fun, I don't know how much fun it's going to be. I don't know. And it might be fun. Like I told you I was going to say it a bunch of times. People were having a great time. There were a lot of people there that had never been there before, and they were having a blast. But for the people that have been there for a while, it feels like it's time to move to somewhere else. So now it's just going to be a question of, which convention is it? Where are we going to go? Sad thing is an issue. VAs have been attacked, harassed at these conventions in recent years. The issue is they weren't the focus, so it wasn't treated as a big deal. Now they are the talent. So I wonder if that's the issue. I wonder if as they're becoming another VA con, that's why they're getting security, because they know that it's going to be a problem. Because apparently Charles Martinet did have an issue at the hotel that he was at a couple of years ago, I think. Yeah, it feels like MomoCon's going to be the vibe for next year. Just casual interaction with yourself. Oh, yeah. From just casual interaction with yourself on Blue Sky and here, so you seem very chill and friendly. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I like... That's how I am. I just like to relax. I love to do wacky stuff and whatnot, but for the most part, I just, if you want to meet a good version of me, a version of me, like I try to be somebody that I like. But if you want to meet a fun version of me, it's going to be in one of those hotel rooms at night. Wait, hold on. That sounded bad. No, it's going to be in a nice, quiet setting. It's going to be in a setting where there's not a bunch of music blaring. There's not a bunch of people. It's just us sitting there talking about stuff. And that's always a really good, that's always a really good setting. That's a setting that I'm super comfortable in. And Greg is on the list. Pause. I'm reading some stuff. I'm in a chapter in my life where I don't know anyone, and I don't know where to go if I wanted to do these kinds of things. Any pointers on what I should do? Go to the things. That's what I would say. I would say go to the thing. It's better if you know people. I mean, people that are online and they go to the thing, so you can meet them and do the thing together. Be open, which is very difficult for us because some of us are extremely introverted. So it's difficult to do that, but you have to be confident enough to spend time with people, to be willing to spend time with people. You have to be confident enough to reach out to people. That was a lot of the years where we would go and do things after the convention. It was, I happened to be there when other people were talking about it, and then they invited me along. And, and not in like oh God, he found out, so we have to invite him. Well, maybe, but that's how it ended up being. This time I reached out. This time I messaged and I said, is anybody doing anything? Because I was going to ask if I can go. And you kind of have to be social, and it kind of sucks, right? For us introverted people, people that have imposter syndrome, it's a difficult thing to do. Spontaneity is the key. I wouldn't say it's the key, What I would say is, if you allow yourself to be spontaneous, you'd be surprised how many doors open. You'd be surprised how, if someone says we're going to this thing, and again, you have to be open to reach out and say, is it all right if I come along? If you're open to do that, you'd be surprised at how much you can get done and you can get to. And then when you're there, engage. Don't just sit in a corner. You have to, even if you, and I do sit in the corner. I often do just sit kind of off to the side. But I like to listen. I like to watch what people are doing as far as, I'm a people watcher, and I hope that doesn't sound like a creepy thing, but I like to be in crowded places and just watch people have human interactions. And that's good for me because I get to see that. Engage. But you have to, and then, you jump in and you laugh at if something's funny, you laugh at it. And you'd be surprised at how it sounds more complicated than it is because of how scary it can be. But when you do it, you'd be surprised. And then when all of that is said and done, and you shake hands and you meet you meet people and you hear their names, remember their names. I'm terrible with names. But when you do that, be willing to stay open. Nowadays we have social media, we have Discord, and we can interact. You guys, I haven't met most of you, but you guys can interact with me. You can talk, you can say things. And for those of you who might be here that have met me, I always joke that I need to know your screen name because I don't know your real name. I'd say, hey, what's going on? But, oh, my name's Mark. I'm like, oh, okay, hey, hi, how's it going, Mark? And then they say, oh, well, my name is this online. Oh, my God, yeah. And it turns out we've been talking for months. So you have to be kind of open to do that. And then you have to follow up on it. You have to extend the hand. And sometimes it's scary. We're scared of rejection. We're scared of the imposter syndrome. We're scared of, these people don't actually want to hang out with me. They're talking to me because I have to be here or because somebody else brought me. But when you are tough enough to get through that, I won't say get over that, I would say get through that. When you do that, you'd be surprised at how many good, positive interactions you have. And I think the most important thing is to understand that you can have good interactions. You can have bad ones. You can meet some horrible people. But you can have some really, really, really good experiences. And it's just a matter of being willing to do that. What's this? Pus funk? Wait. Hold on, going back up. My main problem last year was people taking up time to get their signatures from VAs, like up to 10 minutes. Yeah, this is kind of set up for that too. Last year with Claire Redfield, VA last year. For what I heard, it was also a problem this year. I'm horrible. Yeah, I'm bad with names. I am really bad with names. You're actually pretty good with it. I'm so terrible with it. Hang on. I was finding healthy things to realize is try to not be afraid of jerks while looking for friends. And that's what it is. Yeah. If people are going to judge you for who you are, they would judge you for your likes anyway. So they weren't bothering with you. Yeah. The good thing about jerks is that they'll probably show really quickly that they're jerks, and you can decide whether or not you want to hang out with them. Just remember, you're afraid when it comes to that. You're afraid that they're going to reject you, but you can also reject them. And I don't mean that in a harsh way. I don't mean that you get to be mean to them. What I mean is, if you're not getting along with these people, if you think that they're rude or you think that they're judging you in a very negative way, then you have the right to say, I don't want to be here anymore, and I leave. And you can do that. You have control over what happens. So, that hopefully helps you get over the hurdle to talk to people and communicate with people and put yourself in what could be a very vulnerable situation. But at the same time, if you make yourself available for that, you can end up with meeting some very, very good people. I'm bad with names. Anyway, hello, Aunt Gold. Big Portal. Oh, what do you think of the whole I don't owe people anything? It's not about owing them. It's about making a connection with them. And in order to make a connection, you have to reach out. You can't shake anybody's hand if you don't stick out your arm. that's how it is. You know, there is a concern. There's a hostile way to look at it, is that these people don't talk to me. I've had this problem in different situations where it's like, oh, they don't want to talk to me. No, you don't want to talk to them. That's the problem. You're waiting for them to reach out first. You don't know that they don't want to. You don't know that they don't want to talk to you because you didn't try to talk to them. If you tried to talk to them and they blew you off, they don't want to talk to you. But maybe they want to talk to you, but they're afraid. Maybe they don't. Bear in mind, when you're sitting there thinking they don't want to talk to me, there's a good chance they're sitting there thinking they don't want to talk to me. They're thinking the same thing about you. Somebody has to be the first one to stick their hand out. And if it gets smacked away, all right, that sucks. It definitely does suck. But what if it doesn't? What if they shake your hand? What if they pull you into the group? It's a good way to look at it. It's an important way to look at it. What about shaking hands? Ew, cooties. I was talking with a couple people that I talked with in line meeting the VAs last year. You're having a shared, and that's a good thing. One of the best things this is why I say it's important to go places that for things that you like conventions and whatnot. For, you know, if you're a video gamer, go to video game conventions, because the shared experience causes people to interact with each other. When you're stuck in a bank or something, right? You're stuck in the long line at the bank or the DMV. Back in the day, at least, and still to this day, we used to talk to the people. Oh my God, can you believe that? You ever have something bad happen in your neighborhood? The power goes out or something and everybody's outside and all of a sudden you're talking to neighbors that you haven't talked to in months? Oh man, could you believe that? Like, that's crazy. And you're having a sort of conversation with them. You're having an interaction with them. Having a shared experience is a good way to break the ice and get people to communicate with each other. And going to a video game convention or a geek convention or some event for a hobby that you have is a good way to break the ice. Because the ice is already broken. Guess what? You're at a video game convention. What do you have in common? You all like video games. You're all geeks. So all that's left is to actually interact with them, which is, you know, the scariest part. Absolutely. I'm ready to display my stuff. What do people mock it? We're going to let your roots mock you to realize that I let fear stop me from enjoying stuff. Now my room has shelves and mini anime. I mean, you know what? You know what's a good example for that is wearing your shirts. You're wearing video game shirts and stuff. It's like, oh, they're gonna think I'm a geek. Like, you are a geek. So why not be a geek out there and let other geeks know that you're a geek? Because I'll tell you what, I got something I want to show you as part of my pickups. Good transition, Ryan. As part of my pickups, I want to show you something. And there's a T-shirt that I got, and one of the reasons I got this shirt, because I think it's funny, but it is related to another shirt that I own. And when I tell you, you'll understand. I made a few IRL friends at the Switch 2 launch thing at GameStop. What would the Uncle's secret handshake be? What would my secret handshake be? What would my secret handshake? I know what my secret handshake would be. All right. You ready? I'm going to give you my secret handshake. Only the people that are here know the secret handshake that I'm making up on the spot. And don't let me forget it, because I will forget it. You walk up. You go. Tarvel locking in. You walk up. You look around like you don't want to see it, right? You ever seen like a drug deal in the movies where they're like, and then they sort of slip them the money and stuff? I want you to go like this. Here, I'll stand up. Or I'll sit. I'll move back. You go right, and you do this thing where you're like real in close, and then so you like you got like real close, and then that's it. And then that's like you're trying to keep. See, this is why it's a secret handshake, because it's like you're trying to keep the handshake a secret. That's what it is. It's not a secret handshake in that you do a bunch of weird things. It's a secret handshake in that you're trying to keep the handshake a secret. That's it. That's the secret handshake. Yeah, we'll be super awkward when someone does this to you and you forgot. Tarvel, that's why I said don't let me forget that I said that. Because somebody's going to do it. And I'm going to be like, what's he doing? Yeah. One of my best friends entered the room. Terrifying because I got a stranger. Yeah, I think the same thing when I saw you that day. Someone clip it. Yeah, you can clip it so that we'll remember it. Just do the Macho Man handshake. Oh, that's actually, yeah, you're right, Simple. That's kind of what it is. It's like it is kind of the Macho Man handshake. So what did I get? So I actually did buy some things this year. I think I bought more than I've bought in kind of a while. I've definitely spent more than I've spent in a while. Gonna be like, did you just try and kiss me? No, man. Did you watch the stream? What's going to be really bad if someone tries to do that to John and John has no frame of reference for what's happening. So the first thing I bought, all right, technically, the first thing I bought at Target. So this first thing I actually bought at Target. So the other day I was at Target maybe a week ago, and they've got, the Hot Wheels that are Mario Kart. They've got a box set of them that has a bunch of the characters in their carts, and it has a Daisy in the cart. But I wasn't going to pay, I think it was $55 for the box set. I wasn't going to pay $55 to get a Daisy Mario Kart. But they do sell them individually, but they didn't have Daisy. And I didn't think they sold it. But I went to the Target, and they did. So I got little Daisy Mario Kart. Sound like, what did you just try and say there? So you got a little Daisy Mario Kart. She looks fantastic. I don't know if I'm going to take her out of the pack. I like her in this thing. So I don't remember the order. Do I remember? Yes, I do remember the order that I bought these in. This. Yes. Okay. So this is the order that I bought stuff in. I clipped the secret handshake. Thank you. So I wasn't really expecting to get too much. I've gotten out of retro collecting to an extent. Say for maybe one or two things that I might want, which kind of is what happened this year. Hey, Mr. Sonic. Yeah, it just popped up. Yeah, what did you say, Sondox? I clipped the secret handshake. Oh, why didn't it show up like that? Oh, I have links blocked, Sondox. That's what it is. I have links blocked. So that's why it came up that way. So I wasn't really expecting to spend a whole lot. I didn't even know what I was looking for. I had no idea. I don't have a list of things that I'm looking for anymore. Everything that I might have wanted, I've already gotten. So, and I'm not putting new things on the list really. But I saw this, and I said, all right, how much is it? I looked. I knocked down the price a little bit. This is not the most expensive thing I've ever bought at a con, but it's going to be up there. This I missed getting when it came out. It was $130 when it first came out, and I missed getting it. And this is the only mini console that I didn't get that I was disappointed to not have. I'm a big TurboGrafx fan. I love TurboGrafx. I love PC Engine, and they have great games. It's such a great experience to play that system. And I have a semi decent TurboGrafx collection. I have the CD add-on and stuff. I have the PC Engine briefcase, which is the thing that you plug in the PC Engine and the CD drive. I have a Core Graphics and the CD drive from an American system, but it does work. They got Defender? No, they don't have Defender. Well, what would be the closest to Defender? I mean, I can. Well, okay. This is what I want to try later. When I said that I want to try something later, I want to try and play this later because I haven't opened it up. Wait, there's a mini TurboGrafx. Yeah, it came out a while ago, and at first it was an Amazon exclusive item, but it was $130 and it was super hard to get, and then they discontinued it. So I just kind of had given up on getting one, and they had it, so I talked them down the price a little bit, and I ended up getting that. And we'll try it out later. We'll go over all the games that are on there. This I showed a picture of. I took a fun picture on Discord, on Blue Sky. I got the Daisy Mario Party amiibo. So I paid $10 for this, which is kind of a bummer. But this is the one I was hoping they would remake it, and they haven't. So I just wanted the Daisy Mario Party amiibo because, it's Daisy, of course. I didn't take the price tag off. So yeah, so I got Daisy there. Hold on, can I? Is it possible? Oh wait, hold on. Here we go. Yeah, it's got a lot of great games. Like if you stick around and we check it out, you'll see all the games on there, and it's way worth the price of the console. And no, it's a Daisy. It's not a bootleg. Are you just building a Daisy shrine? So what did I get next? Maybe. So okay. I am not really collecting retro anymore, but there's one game that I always looked for, and it always pissed me off because, first of all, no one ever had it. Half the time they didn't even know. Is that an unopened TurboGrafx? No, this is. I should explain. This is the TurboGrafx Mini. This is like this. Like they had the Nintendo Mini and the Super Nintendo Mini and all of those. This is the TurboGrafx Mini. So it's got like 60 TurboGrafx games, TurboGrafx and PC Engine games. But I had always been looking for this game, and no one ever had it. And I used to hate it because it's called Ultimate Shooting Collection. This is a collection of 3 shoot-'em-ups for the Wii. And I think, what is it? It's Radio Allergy, Karos, Karous, and Chaos Field. I think Chaos Field is on Steam, but I don't know about the other 2. So, you said Ultimate. Wait, I thought you said Ultimate Shitting Collection. So, well, it depends. Maybe the games are terrible. I hated looking for this game because there's another game for the Wii called Ultimate Board Game Collection. So, for years, I would be looking through all the Wii games and get really excited when I saw the word Ultimate, and then it was Board Game Collection. So now I finally have this game. This is probably one of the last retro games that I was really, really looking for whenever I go places. So now I have this game. I'm pretty happy about it. I'll probably set up the Wii U so that I can play this either on stream or maybe just off stream one day. Yeah, I heard of Chaos Field, and that's about it. Yeah, so I don't know like if the other 2 are on Steam or not. At that point, because of what I spent on the TurboGrafx and then the Ultimate Shooting wasn't too expensive, but because I spent that money, I figured I wasn't going to get anything else. Then I saw something that I forgot had come out and that I've been trying to order, and I can't order because no one ever has it. I got the Lunar Collection. So I was very, very happy that somebody had one of these Lunar Collections. It was full price. It was just $60. But you can't really get this right now. Every time they get it in, it sells out. And I was really, really excited to get this. So this is probably what I'm going to play next. Like I'm probably going to sit down after this, and I'm going to actually finally, I'm going to play Lunar. So I'm very, very happy for that. You paid $60. That's more than full price. I thought full price was $60. If you order it on Amazon, I thought it was $60. Well, if you order on Amazon, it's more because they never have it. Yeah, I thought it was $60. It's okay. All right, then I paid $60 for it, but I got it. Yeah, I hope you do enjoy it on your own time. I will. It was $50. Okay, so it was $60. So not bad. Not terrible, considering that it is a rare game. Yeah, you can get it for $50 digitally. This is something I kind of want it physically, though. This is definitely something I want physically. You got it on Amazon for $44.95. You guys are shooting me down now. The problem is, like, let me look at it right now. Hold on. Let me go right now. I'm gonna be. Actually, hold on. No, hold on. I don't trust Amazon because the last time I ordered a Switch game on Amazon, they stole the game out of the box. That's the thing. Oh, £44.95. So what is that in freedom money? So hold on. So Lunar Switch. Let's see if I were to order it right now. $57.50 on Amazon right now, and it does say they have it. So it's $57.50 on Amazon right now. But it also says $4.55 delivery. I'm guessing that's just if you do like the expedited delivery. So yeah, it looks like 55. Of course, there's somebody there with 80 for some reason. So I guess basically I paid about what it is right now. It's just rare and more the company being worried about restocking the game. Well, they put out a thing like a week after the game came out, and it sold out immediately. And they put out a thing that said they would keep making them. So I also got a shirt. I bought one shirt, and I liked a ton of the designs that the one place had, but I got this one because whenever I go somewhere, I have a shirt that I wear that more than any other piece of clothing that I've ever owned in my life, I have gotten comments on. I'll be at the supermarket, at a random supermarket, and someone will point at my shirt and love it. And it is my Charmander Shepherd shirt. It is the one with, it's got Charmander, but he's dressed like a Mass Effect character. Whenever I go out, the people always shout. Keeps on line, they randomly restock it at random times, so it's hard to get unless you're tracking it. So I was able to get this. So with all the designs that they had, I said, you know what? I have to get this one. It is Boba Fett. I said, this is awesome. It reminded me of my Charmander Shepherd shirt, and I said, this is great. So I got this shirt. I love it. I'm excited to wear it when I go somewhere. Yeah, they had a bunch of Pokemon ones. They had one that looks like the Little Caesars logo, but it says Little Caesar, and it's the Caesar on there. That was the other one. I was thinking about getting that one too. But I didn't get any other ones. Just the Wobba Fett. Yeah, I think I don't know if I've seen that on a shirt, but I've seen that as artwork before, the Wobba Fett. And the last thing I bought, somebody randomly had it for $25. I asked them for $20 and they said okay. Final Fantasy VI on the Super Famicom. I've always wanted the box to be. It's got the game and the manual inside, but I've always wanted this box. I've always absolutely loved this box artwork. I would love to have this as like without the branding as a poster, but whenever I see this as a poster, it's not this wide. I want a poster of this full width, and whenever I see it, it's more closer to a square, and I don't like that. I always wanted it like this, so I got the box and I said, all right, I'm gonna have the box art. This will be the I can just put this on my shelf, and I don't have to worry about playing the game. Although I am kind of curious as to what the save file looks like in here. I may have to set the Super Nintendo up so I can see what the save file looks like in here, because I do like that stuff. And that was it. That was all of the stuff I bought at the convention. Like I said, it was an interesting year for TMG. I feel the shine is off at this point. Final Fantasy 3. I'm sorry, it was Final Fantasy 3. The best version, the PS1. Oh, the PS1 Final Fantasy is horrible load times, terrible. Is there a Final Fantasy that I would love a remake of? Well, I'm already getting mine in Tactics, even though the Tactics remake seems to be all over the place. Is there a Final Fantasy? Because there's a game that I could think. Final Fantasy VI, I guess I would like a remake, but I would really like it to be 2D HD. I would really like it to look like Octopath and Triangle Strategy. 9 remake, I think would be really good. I'm gonna hot take you here. Mystic Quest deserves more love. I always think Mystic Quest deserves more love. Actually, I wouldn't mind Mystic Quest. I think Mystic Quest as a remake would actually be super interesting. I'm gonna hot take here with 16 being as good as it was, with 7 remake and Rebirth, right? That was it. I think if you went into a full action version of 13, I think that would be kind of interesting. I think we're far enough removed away from the fundamental, like the differences, the problems with 13 that were related to the difference, it being a different kind of game. I'd be curious to see. I think 8 would also be the same thing. I think I would probably rather have 8 than 13. But I think if you just went full on 13 action game, and you did it like for anybody that has played 16, 16 is an amazing game. I really don't understand the hate for 16. 13 has a lot of issues, but the only real issue I had with 13, for as much or slash as little as I played it, the only other real issue I had with 13 was Lightning is a terrible character. I thought that she was a wholly uninteresting character, and I didn't really care for any of the other characters, but I'll admit that I didn't give them time to grow. I didn't play the game long enough for them to grow. But as an action game, yeah, 16 has a lot of hate from purists, really. It's a really great game, if a bit simple for a DMC like. So let's do that with 13. And let's do that with 8. And I think 8 would also benefit from that. Let's just turn it into an action game. Right? We can streamline certain aspects of the game, because certain parts of those games, like 8, for instance, had, you could break the game in half. So let's change that. Let's make it so that you can't break it in half completely, but let's make the game more fun and engaging. 18 has some great 8 has some great action sequences. The stuff where you're doing like the battle and you're running through and there's explosions and stuff. Imagine you're playing an action game and that's what's happening. You're running through and you're fighting enemies as you got the war going on behind you and the big battle going on. I think 8 would actually benefit very well from it. But I'd be curious to see what a 13 would look like if you went in and you put a proper shine on everything. I'd be curious to see what you would get out of that game. Yeah, we had 18 now. 16 was a one and done for me because it wasn't the Final Fantasy I was looking for, or I didn't completely hate my time with it. I have to go back to 16. I want to play through 16 again, but then I have to do the DLC because I have the DLC, but I never played through it. XSX get the 60 FPS treatment. A remake of 8 would be sick. Imagine if they make it sort of like Persona. Square made a point to drag anyone and everyone they could find at Square Enix to tell us if this is the Final Fantasy of all Final Fantasy games, the one we'd have made on NES if we could. Yeah, 8 did have a cool world. 8 had great music. 8 had fantastic music. 16 created worse for Square themselves stance on the game and pushing that no one was allowed to like it. The Gunblade's made for action gameplay. The Gunblade is made for that. It's made for you to run around and be action oriented with it, and that would be amazing. Lightning is flipping around, killing enemies, and shooting spells and stuff, all while carrying a Louis Vuitton bag and showing her armpits constantly for that one developer who was gooning for her. Right, and Ryan, you get the wind pose is like, and she just puts her arm up. It's like, oh god, here we go. I mean, you could put her in different outfits, right? We had different outfits in 7 Rebirth, right? We had the swimsuits and stuff. So yeah, I think those would be very beneficial. But going back to the original topic, the convention was a little bit lackluster, and the glow that I have around it feels like it's gone. So it's going to be time to move on and do something else. And I think MomoCon might be the next one. So I'll still probably go to TMG even if it's for a day or a night, day and a night. But realistically, I feel like for what changed from 2023 to 24, and then from 24 to 25, the change was drastic enough that if it continues in 26, it's going to feel a little unrecognized. It's going to start to be unrecognizable. Actually, I guess it kind of already started being unrecognizable. But eventually it's going to get to the point where everybody bails and no one wants to go. And at that point, it's not really going to be fun anymore. So, that's the ultimate that I can say about that. They already did Lightning dress up in Lightning Returns. Never look how many people tell you can't be mad 16 is an RPG. It's the best one. It hasn't been one in years. And changed the tune real fast as nominated RPG of the year. I mean, that was all over the place. But, yeah. So, what I want to do now, since we got some time left, like I said, we're only going to stream for maybe like another hour. Let's see how this goes, because I do want to try this. I want to open up. I have not opened up this TurboGrafx, this Turbo Mini. So I want to open this up and I want to play a couple games with you guys. And like I said, I really like the TurboGrafx games. I think they're a lot of fun. I think that they have some really cool versions of games out there. I mean, here, I'll show you the back and you guys can try and get the light off of it. I don't know how well you can see some of these games. I'll hold it up for a second. Maybe you guys can see some of the games that you might enjoy. So the top ones are TurboGrafx games, and then they have the PC Engine versions of games. I'm really interested to see what all of these are. You can test. No, I can't test the 6 save file because I have to get my Super Nintendo and set everything up, and that's always kind of difficult. Look at all these games I never played. That's one of the other things about TurboGrafx is that there's a lot of stuff here that people just didn't play. People. Was that Snatcher? I don't think that was Snatcher. No, Snatcher. Oh, it is. Yes, it is. But it's the PC Engine version. So I don't know if this is going to be in English or not. So Snatcher's on here. There's a game on here that's ridiculously expensive. Is it Sapphire? Was it Sapphire? No, Sapphire was on something else. But there is a game on there that's super expensive. So yeah, this Snatcher might be, it might be the Japanese version. Yeah, there was one of these things that has. I mean, some of these games are really expensive. Listen, like if I read some of these games off right now, like I saw R-Type, they had it there for like $100 at the convention. Bonk's Revenge is on here. Is Bonk's Revenge and not Bonk's Adventure? What's happening? Hold on, because Bonk's Revenge is the second one. New Adventure Island, Soldier Blade. I saw Soldier Blade at the convention to shoot 'em up. I saw that at the convention. It was like $250. It's like $250, $300. Lords of Thunder is an expensive game. Just going through all of these. Utopia. Okay, so these are the Japanese versions. PC Genjin. I don't know what that is, but it's got Bonk on it. Superstar Soldier. Oh, it is. Yeah. Hold on. Ginga Fuke Densetsu Sapphire. Yeah, this is the game. Sapphire. It's in the bottom corner here. This game is apparently ridiculously expensive. Snatcher's a heck of a name. Seeing this only reminds me of how disappointing the Genesis Mini 2 was. I feel like the Genesis Mini 2 was kind of unnecessary. I feel like they kind of blew their load with the first one, and the second one almost felt like it was unnecessary. Your Super Nintendo can play Japanese games. So everybody's Super Nintendo can play Japanese games. The way they did region locking back then was a physical component. So in your Super Nintendo... In your Super Nintendo, when you put the cartridge into the slot, if you look at a Super Nintendo game, right back here, this is the Final Fantasy VI. On every Super Nintendo game, right here and here, there are little slots. There are grooves cut into the plastic or shaped into the plastic. In your Super Nintendo, where the cartridge slot is, there are little plastic tabs. So if you were to try and put a Super Famicom game, you would hit the tabs and you couldn't put it in there. If you just go in there with needle nose pliers and break those tabs off, you can play anything. The way they did it was physically. It was a different pin set for the Nintendo, for the NES, but you can get a little adapter and it just changes the pin layout, and then you can play Famicom games. So it wasn't really that complicated back then. Now there's a whole bunch of other crap. Wait, that's illegal. All I did with my Genesis Mini was add Sonic 3 Complete on it. I wanted to hack my system so that I can put more stuff on there. Nintendo lawyers are on the way. Does apply to PAL Super Nintendos as well? Yes. PAL Super Nintendos. I don't remember if PAL Super Nintendos have the tabs or don't have the tabs. But if you have the tabs, you just break them off, and that's it. NTSC carts would not go into the PAL slot. No, actually, no. I'm sorry. Hold on. No, that does not work with PAL because PAL had a different Hertz thing, right? I don't remember if they worked on PAL systems. That's a good question, actually. Yeah, I don't remember if they worked on PAL systems. So I got the controller. Oh, so I opened it up. The controller was here at the bottom, and then the wire was here on the side. So this is... pull it out. Can't get it out. There we go. It's got an HDMI cord. It does not have the power brick. It has the power cord, but the little brick that you plug into the wall, it does not come with. And it's micro USB. So I can't do this to my SNES. I believe you can. Oh, wait. The PAL carts are shaped the same as the Famicom. Oh, so it might work, right? Oh, we had different tabs. Lilac, or Latimer, can you put a picture of your PAL carts? Put a picture of like the bottom where the thing is, where the slot is. So this is the mini. The funny thing is, this isn't much. Where's my TurboGrafx? It's over there. This isn't much smaller than the actual TurboGrafx, because the actual TurboGrafx wasn't that small. Let me see this picture here. Hold on. Huh. What is that? That's about the same. Interesting. It looks like the pin, power region, smooth curve front. That doesn't matter. Is the opening, or is the board size different? I'm confused. I wish they would have used a game that had a similar board size. I don't know. This looks like it might be the same as the Famicom one. So you might actually just be able to put the cartridge right into your system. And this part, does this part come off on this one? I'm gonna break it and like, no, it doesn't. So this part on the original system, oh, there we go. This part comes off, and then the original system has a pin out here. It's a slot with a bunch of pins in it. That was for you to. There was an attachment you can attach to it that gave you the yellow, red, and white jacks. And when you put it into the CD unit, it would sit inside, and you would slide it in. And then that was how that worked. So they made the cover open up. But I don't think they made. Oh, look, it's got. Oh, that's clever. So it looks like it's designed for you to run the wire out of here. Yeah, AC adapter. So I guess you plug. Okay, so you plug the AC into here. You plug the AC into here, and then you can put the cover back on. That's actually kind of clever. I like that. The above has the extent. Yeah, it has the extension pins for the Super FX. I kind of wish they didn't do that. Then why is a kid that I need an adapter to play Super Booted N2? The adapter I know for the US system, the adapter, all it did was it bypassed those tabs, but you could just rip those tabs out. We used to do it all the time. I used to do it when I worked at a video game store. I used to do it to every system that came in, whether they wanted it or not, just so that I can tell people, by the way, it plays Japanese games. So we're going to put that in there. You see the size difference better, too. There's an EU SNES with a game in and a US cart on top. So let me see. Yeah, so they were a little bit smaller. I'm trying to think of the Super Fam. Do I have a US game that... Because I don't remember the Super Famicom being that much... I don't remember if they were the same or not. The Super Famicom, the UK ones, they weren't different than the Japanese ones, were they? Get in there. There we go. Genesis sounds so much cooler than Mega Drive. Mega Drive sounds kind of cool. I kind of like that. Sorry, I derailed the stream. No, it's okay because we're gonna try this out. We're gonna play some TurboGrafx. That way you can guys see some really. I wanted to do this before, and then my thing wasn't working for me to play. We played some TurboGrafx before, but not like a whole lot. I'm pretty sure it also had electronic region locking, unless you bypass it with a jumper. Holy! This cord. Remember the NES when the NES one came out, and we said, "Why is the cord so short?" Holy! There's no way this isn't. This has got to be like 10 feet. Wait, hold on. I think this is a 10-foot cord. This has got to be 9 or 10 feet. This is great because I can leave this on my TV. The only thing they needed is a power button on here. That's what's this? It's not that long, but the EU version of the SNES Mini were like 5 feet. Yeah, the NES ones here, they were really short. People complained because they couldn't leave it on their setup. They would have to have the system with them. I wish there was a power button on here. That would have been great. And by the way, TurboGrafx controller, one of the first controllers I ever remember where the official controller had turbo on it. You had the turbo. A long, long cord. Also, USB. So I wonder if I can use this on my PC to play TurboGrafx and NES games. I wonder if it'll work for that. There's a fly buzzing around and it's driving me crazy. Form factor for the UK and US SNES completely different. Oh, and the US carts are bigger. Okay, so the US carts are bigger. But are the UK and Famicom and Super Famicom cartridges, are they the same? Big ups to Greg for catching on that. Yeah, that's such a funny. Those videos were hilarious. Here you go. Hello, man. Doing a quick Google search. Apparently, the EU SNES had a different chipset, so it can't read other countries' games. So maybe it can't. Yeah, maybe it can't do that. I guess that's why Terra Enigma was an amazing game, but you can't just get it to work. Like, if you download the ROM for Terra Enigma, it doesn't work. All right, come here, you little. Come here. Spoiler alert, there's no fly. I'm just going insane. I'm glad she got jumped on her wedding day. What the? Damn it. Damn it, fly. I'm going to hit this fly with my TurboGrafx. Oh, my God. I think I hit it. Ah, damn it. Hold on. So, all right, this goes flat side down. Oh, this is difficult. Hang on. Get in there. Hang on. Ooh. There we go. All right, we're in. Plot twist, Greg's not streaming. Could you imagine? I'm always so fearful of that. Oh, and then that's the HDMI. So, oh, I didn't try this. You guys said that if I use the HDMI on the Switch 2, it'll work. I just won't get HDR. How's the Switch 2? I feel like enjoyment of the Switch 2 right now is very heavily dependent on whether or not you're enjoying Mario Kart. There are a lot of other games for it, but you know they're kind of they're the third party ones. So you know, for as good of the games as they are, like Cyberpunk and stuff, if you really, really, really care about Cyberpunk, you've probably had it on another system already. So the third party stuff, I don't think is gonna. I don't think it's propping up the Switch 2. I think that Mario Kart World is doing a lot of the work, but Mario Kart World is decent, if not somewhat problematic and you know, and early in its lifespan. That's another thing that people keep saying, like they're comparing it to Mario Kart 8, and it's like 8 at the beginning was 8 on the Wii U was very much lower in features than World is, but a lot of the stuff that you can do in World, you really have to care about. Like, I can drive around in the free World thing, but I kind of don't care. I don't care. The only thing you can do with it, I have to do it in order to unlock mirror mode. Fantasy Life. Yeah, Fantasy Life. You got Fantasy Life. I didn't play Fantasy Life yet. Only game on multi-platform that's better on the Switch is Bravely Default right now. I keep saying it, but a Switch one showed it's really not true. People wait to buy games where they can play, and that's true. That's true because there are a lot of people who said I'm not going to buy it anywhere else. I'm not going to buy another system. I'm going to buy the Switch because the Switch is what I want. So they're the ones buying the system right now. This thing is going to drive me insane. But it's not going to be enough. It's not enough. It's not like you're going to. You know, the bulk of the sales are always going to be Mario Kart World, and they're going to be some of these other games. So. You know, and that's not to say anything bad about the Switch 2. The Switch 2 as a piece of hardware is still fantastic. It's still terrific. It's just, you know, it would make perfect sense for someone to say, I'm going to wait until there's more stuff that I want to play. That makes perfect sense for the Switch 2. And they're talking about the image I posted above showing the SNES controller length here. Oh, hold on. Mario Kart was cool until Nintendo mucked up the online track selection, which I had to be informed about that because I don't play the mode that it is. I play Knockout Tour, so that's not the problem. Oh God, look at me. Yeah, see that's kind of wild. That's got to be, what did you say? That was 5 feet? Like, that's kind of wild. You know, you have to have your system near you. This is 10 feet long. It's amazing. The third-party games bomb on the Switch 2 is kind of proving it. Yeah, they didn't bomb on the Switch 2. They're not going to prop up the system. You know what I mean? They're not going to hold it up. But they didn't bomb. I wouldn't say that at all. It's just, you know, again, like I said, if you really, really care about it, you probably bought them on something else already. And if you care about performance like I do, you know, I haven't bought Cyberpunk yet. I don't have it on any system. But I care about performance, so I'm not going to get the Switch version. When I finally get Cyberpunk, it's not going to be on the Switch. Oh, most analysts ask people who wrote, have we even judged a console by 2-week game sales? Have we ever judged a console by 2-week game sales? Yeah. No, of course not. This fly, you know what the problem is? It's a big fly. And that's what's bugging me. Hold on. So where is... Unplug that. Oh, wait. Was that something? What did I just unplug? Hang on, did everything just go dark there for a second? I unplugged something and I think I messed up, and I shouldn't have done that. Hang on. So I also need this. Oh, you know what? Hang on, I gotta find it. It buffered for a second. No, so that wasn't buffering. I unplugged something, and I have something attached to my screens to make sure the signals go to the right places. I want a new console, darn it. Can't afford a PS5 or a Switch 2. It's the boots problem. I can't afford the upfront cost to get what I want. Sean, have you considered a bank loan? I know that sounds kind of silly, but if you get a really small bank loan, you'll be able to get what you want up front. Hang on. I think I got it. You know, you can get it. Damn it. I thought I got it. You can get a small bank loan and maybe you can get it and then you just pay the loan off, obviously. But, you know, just some way to do it. Yeah, and it's good for your credit, too, because you get a loan and you pay it back and it looks like you're a responsible money person. I'm good. My credit's currently ass. So maybe getting a loan would be the problem. Hold on. Sorry, I'm looking for the HDMI plug. Even the OG article snuck in admitted game sales are higher than Switch 1 launch game sales by like 40%. Yeah. To be fair, what I will give them about that is you had a lot of people that were hesitant when the Switch 1 came out, and with the Switch 2, they all know that they want it. So we'll do that. People who didn't get it because of money problems. Why do you think you have 2 kidneys? Your credit gets hurt if you pay it back. They want you to remain in debt and build interest for a while first. Oh, so I always thought that was the other way around. I thought because they saw that you were taking out a loan, and then you were paying it back in a reasonable amount of time. Like I always thought that actually helped your credit. Hang on. All right, so looks like we're good to go here. So we're going to switch over to this, and I'm going to turn it on. And I'm going to have to switch my monitor. I've only had my credit card hovering around max for a long time. It gets paid off at a massive lump, and it gets built back up and hovers around or even over the max. I guess that's the one thing, is that I don't have any outstanding credit cards. I try not to use them as much as possible. I hope they can update Bayo 3 on the Switch too. Well, as far as like, does it just run better on its own? Just for the Switch 2 being a better piece of hardware, a lot of games just work better. Nice interface. It's nice. It's clean. It's pretty. You got the little PC engines walking around. So we got Alien Crush. I don't want to get any more credit cards because I really don't need more debt. Yeah, I would not say that. Crazy how RE Revelations 1 and 2 run at 60 FPS just from the hardware alone on the Switch 2. It's a more stable 30. Okay, so it's not 60. It's just a more stable 30. Motor Racer, Power Golf, R-Type, the legend. Chu Man Fu. I don't know if that's offensive or not. JJ and Jeff, this is a weird kind of game. Military Madness. This was Nectaris. This came out over here as Military Madness for some reason. I think this was Nectaris. Newtopia, and then there's a Newtopia 2. I don't know why it's not here. Ninja Spirit. This was probably, for a lot of people, this was a better Ninja Gaiden. This was a ninja game, and it functioned a little bit better, but it was also kind of awkward. It wasn't as cheap as Ninja, right? It wasn't as mean as Ninja Gaiden was. Currently raining despite it being bright out. It's like a full-on rainstorm. Well, you get a nice rainbow. Psychosis Space Harrier, Splatterhouse, Classic, Ease Book 1 and 2. These are actually really, really good. So this is the one I'm confused about. There's Bonk's Revenge, but not Bonk's Adventure. So this is the second one. Kadash, Parasol Stars. This is actually a pretty fun game. Air Zonk, Newtopia 2, New Adventure Island. What's up with that box art? Soldier Blade, Bomberman 93. That looks like Q3. Am I the only one saying Q3? Lords of Thunder. Excellent. All right, so then where are the PC Engine games? Oh, you select the console. PC Engine. Oh, that's a cool transition screen. That was awesome. The Kung Fu. I know all the Kung Fu. What is Bonk getting revenge for? What happened? I don't remember what the plot was. What's this? Jasaken Necromancer? Galaga 88, Fantasy Zone. Dragon Spirit. This is a good version of Dragon Spirit. Soldier Blade is the prequel to Star Soldier Vanishing Earth on N64. Is the prequel to Star Soldier? Is that related to Super Star Soldier? Sorry, the fly is buzzing. You know what it is? You know what's wrong with this fly? My room is dark because of the streaming setup, but my lights are on, so it's sticking around my lights. So this is Nectaris. I believe this is the game that was Military Madness. Dungeon Explorer. Dungeon Explorer is a nice thing. Dragon Spirit. No, this is a shoot 'em up where you're a dragon and then you get power-ups and it evolves you as a stronger dragon. That's Japanese Utopia. PC game. I probably want to see that this might be the first Bonk. This might be the first Bonk. Ease 1 and 2. I like the Japanese versions here. Super Darius. I'm a big Darius fan. Superstar Soldier. Daimakamura. Oh, okay. So, oh, isn't this the game that got a remake? The Genji and the Heike clans? Isn't this the game that got a remake at some point or is getting a remake? Superstar Soldier. This is Daimakamura. This is Super Ghouls. This is Ghouls and Ghosts. This is actually Ghouls and Ghosts. Oh, I'm gonna do the nerd trivia thing here. Right. I'm gonna do the actually this game is one of the 5 games that was made specifically to work for the Super Graphics. So there was a system called the Super Graphics, and it played PC Engine games, but there were 5 games that you needed the Super Graphics to play, and this was one of them. And the other 4 were Aldines, Battle Ace, 1942, and I know the game is Grand Zort, but I think it had a longer name. And they were the 5 games that were actually Super Graphics games. Oh, and there goes Aldines. Yeah, so it's that one. And you can see the Super Graphics logo. Are the other ones here? I don't know if the other ones are here. Nerd! I know. I always remember that. They were the games. I'll have to bring this for John because John likes this game. I think he played it on the Namco collection, and he really, really liked this game. I think this is the only way to play this game. This is the Legend of Valkyrie. I think this is the only way to play this game. So this is Aldon. Someone at TMG had a copy of this, and it was $400. And I said, nope, no thank you. Spriggan, Utopia 2. Gradius and Salamander. I'm a big Gradius fan. I like me some Salamander. This is fantastic. This I'm not. Super Momotaro Densetsu 2. I'm not familiar with that. Wait, this Ninja Gaiden? This is Ninja Gaiden. Huh. I'll be damned. This is the first Ninja Gaiden. I gotta play this too. Star Parodier. This game's awesome. Does it cook your breakfast? You can't afford breakfast. Atomic, it does. You just can't afford the ingredients because you spent them all on the game. Snatcher. I want to see if there's an English translation on this. There might not be. Gradius 2. I never really got a ton of time to play Gradius 2. It never came out over in the US. I forgot this was on here. We're going to have a good time today. Choaniki's on here. We're going to have a good time today. I mean, the legend. What else do I need to say about Dracula X? Bomberman 94, Panic Bomber, and this is Sapphire. This is the game that's like $1,000 or something. It is. If I'm curious now, hold on. Let's check good old eBay. eBay's a reliable source for games. PC Engine. Sapphire. There is a copy up here for $2,000. There are some bootleg ones that say brand new, so you know they're fake. Let's see if there was any sold. Sold. Did anybody buy? People, they're buying the bootleg ones. Somebody, it looks like there was an authentic for $750 that sold in May. In May, one sold for $750 for a Sapphire. So I mean, you know, obviously emulation is something you can get, is something you can do, but it's kind of cool that I don't have to emulate. Oh wait, it went. Oh, it was gonna go into some what's? Oh wait, sort by release date. Yo, that's crazy. All right, so what do we want to do here? So we want to go to TurboGrafx first. Yeah, Choaniki always makes you laugh. It's so wacky. We get out like change the Mario Kart world. We previously complained about how annoying it was to select ongoing tracks. I never really thought it was annoying to select them. So Alien Crush and Devil's Crush, these are pinball games. These are fantastic. So R-Type. All right, we'll do Ninja Spirit first. Oh, look at that. By the way, let me know if it's too loud or not loud enough. Oh, I thought it was about to. Hold on. Hold on, I have to press the run button. Wait, PC engine mode? What the hell was that? You're definitely not getting the same audio quality as we're used to on Super Nintendo. And remember, I think this was legitimately the first 16-bit home console. So you're going to get, you know, it's going to look like this and sound like this. Oh, wait. Oh, you can down slash. That's pretty cool. I like that. Hey, Chips. See, look, you got the clone ninja characters. This showed up in Ninja Gaiden 2, I think. There's a lot going on. Yeah, and that's a hitbox. Ow. Oh, and you can deflect the little thing. God, it's been so long since I played this game. Whoa, that jump. I mean, I guess that's a ninja jump if I've ever seen one. Oh. Nice to see you early. Nice seeing you later, Simple. Have a good one. Thank you so much. I hope to start, stream a little bit more. So, oh wait, what was that? Oh, I got a third one. All right, come on, Shadow dudes. Yeah, look at how much. This is one of those games that once you get the powered up version, it's kind of hard to play the game not like that. You may want to just do it without the powered up version as a challenge. Oh, that was a screen nuke. Speaking of clones, you seen? Oh God! Oh my God! The slowdown. Oh, I wish I could turn one of them around. They seem to face your direction no matter what. Speaking of clones, have you seen Star Wars put back the interactive galaxy map with all the Kane and planet? No, I haven't seen that. I'm not even sure what you're talking about. The archives are incomplete. There is a missing planet. It should be south of the Rishi Maze. What reason would it not be there? The walking looks like shuffling. I don't know if I'm hitting him. Oh wait, am I supposed to hit the stuff back or? Oh wait, I'm supposed to, I forget that I can jump high in this game. Oh, there we go, there we go. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, buddy. Oh no. I thought I had more health. That dude was at least 5 meters above you when the sword hit. Well, remember I got the clone guys too. All right, so let's see what happens. Oh God. The jumping is kind of surprising to me. It's a bit startling. Oh wait, what's the? Oh wait, I can hit the select button, and I got stars. Am I limited on these? These are unlimited, huh? Now it's a run and gun shoot 'em up. Oh, the number. Okay, that's my health. This is a map of Star Wars website where you can zoom in, look at every planet and locate it. As a cool Easter egg, Camino is not there. It's just the void. Well, to be fair, well, no, I guess the planet is still there, but the facility has been destroyed. Bad Batch. You know what I'm getting, Lilac? I've been getting on YouTube now. I don't know what game it is, but it is Star Wars battles. It is these amazing fights. I think it's one of them looked like Revan, I think, but it was a different kind of mask, and I don't remember one of them was Malgus or not. Like I don't know. It's from what am I thinking? The game SWTOR, the MMO. It might be from SWTOR. But I was getting a lot of it. I was like, this is amazing. I just don't want to have to. I don't want to have to play an MMO. It's been so long since I played an MMO. Can I hit him? Oh, I can. Wait, hold on. Oh, I can hit the little shots too. Oh my God! Flash warning. Hey, Logan. Flip, what's going on? Flip, the summary is I showed off my stuff. TMG was lackluster, but the stuff outside of TMG was amazing. And I bought a TurboGrafx Mini. So how do I, hold on. Oh, there we go. So you hit start and select. I hit start and select at the same time. So let's return to menu. So let's do, have you guys ever seen Splatterhouse? Has anybody ever seen Splatterhouse? Glad I didn't go this year. Yeah, Chips, I don't know. Chips, if you go with friends or you meet up with people there and you hang out, it's still a fantastic experience. But if you're going for the convention, it's kind of losing its luster a bit. I'm old. Of course I've seen Splatterhouse. Only the 360 version. Here, you can see the original. For as much as the game gets credit for being like a gross sort of horror game, it is still, it is old graphics still. But also, to be fair, if I go anywhere with friends, if you go anywhere with friends, it's a lot more fun. But some things are still fun on their own. Haha! Haha! He's got the purple mask. Blech. Ow. So yeah, there we go. We got enough of that. Splatterhouse is a legend, but there's only so much I can take of Splatterhouse. I was never a giant Splatterhouse fan. How much was this mini graphics? It cost me $210. Not the most I've ever spent on one thing at a convention, but actually it might be. But that's the only other one I saw at the convention. I didn't see until Sunday, and it was $275. And then I looked online. I looked on eBay to see what they're selling for, and when they sell, it's usually around $250. So I did get some. I did get kind of a deal on it. I'm just happy to have it, to be completely honest with you. This is the only mini that I missed that I want, because I don't have like the Commodore 64 mini or the Intellivision mini. I don't have any of those. SWTOR is great and free to play. It is free to play. Very welcoming to free players too. It's the end game that's sub-based like raids. Also does the thing you wanted 14 to do. If you do a dungeon that is above you, it scales to that level with your current skills. However, if you over level, it sinks you down, but lets you access everything you have. See, I like that. I like that. Blood and video games. Won't someone please think of the children? All right, so that's Splatterhouse. Easebook 1 and 2. These are dated as far as graphics and stuff go, but these are actually really good games. And then Bonk's Revenge, Parasol Stars, Air Zonk. Air Zonk was good. This is another one that's kind of hard to find. Soldier Blade, Lords of Thunder. Let's go Lords of Thunder. This was a super CD. Can we expect a Daisy costume tier list for Mario Kart World? Ooh, that's not a bad idea. Niece won Best Ballerina Award. Sister and your husband moving into our home. That's what you were talking about, like moving in. Went berry picking. Echoes of Wisdom Frontier DLC story. Arzette. Did you play Arzette? I didn't finish it, actually. I liked it, but I didn't finish it. All right, so this is Lords of Thunder. There were a couple of these. There was Lords of Thunder and there was Gate of Thunder. All right, I was just going to skip past. Oh, I can choose. Oh, I thought that said Azula. Why does Pauline only get one alternate outfit? So does Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong also has one alternate outfit. Logan, what we're thinking is that they're gonna give them DLC outfits, free DLC, but they're gonna give them DLC outfits when Donkey Kong comes out. When Bonanza comes out, you'll probably get costumes related to the stuff from Bonanza. So maybe they'll add the outfit that she wears as a kid in Bonanza. So like I think that's what they're gonna do. Let's go water. Welcome to my humble shop. Oh, you can buy upgrades. Do I have any money? I have 300 monies. Here, we'll do this. And we'll do this one. I think we're getting a July Switch 2 Direct. I mean, we still got 4 hours. We might get a Direct in June. So, we could possibly get a Direct in June. Whoa. There's a lot happening. I'm not used to my ship starting with this much power. Why is my ship all powered up? I still don't have all the outfits in Mario Kart World. I actually have to play it. Oh, no. This is music. You hear the music? Why did it look like it looked kind of like I was swinging a sword when the enemy got close. Oh, you do? When you press the button, oh my god, if you press the button when the enemy's close, it starts swinging a sword at him. That's pretty decent. The music is trying. I mean, it's doing well. It's just the audio quality's kind of yikes. And this is a CD game, so, I mean, let's be honest. Some of these games didn't get it. Here, I'm going to die and see what happens if I... So you have health. You have a lot of health. Oh, you just it's a health-based game, so it's just game over. Game over. Let's try one of the other armors, and then we'll move on. Exit. Maybe it's because I powered up. Oh no, you have good shots. This is this is one of those, like, if there's a remastered soundtrack or something, the soundtrack's probably amazing. I'm sure there is. I'm sure the music is on YouTube where somebody remastered all the music. I'm sure it would be fantastic. Gate of Thunder had good music too. Oh, that's cool. It died, so it just stays there. So if you want to play Star Soldier 64 again, we can try that on here too. Super Star Soldier, that's on here. There's a PC Engine CD version where it's all CD audio of the tracks. What do you mean? Well, is the game Red? I mean, those games back then were Red Book audio. If you have the Castlevania, what's it called? Dracula X. If you have Dracula X, that used to go into your CD player, and then it would play. You could play music. I think Dracula X was like that. I think they called it Red Book audio. Can I crash into the edges? No. Okay. So often when I've seen you online, it's Silver Greg is playing Tetris 99, putting that $450 power to use. Now I'm putting those Tetris skills to use because it feels good. Feels good to win. I don't know. It's been kind of tough, man. I've been having a hard time getting wins in Tetris. Oh my God, I died. Superstar Soldier isn't the sequel. It's Soldier Blade. So Soldier Blade is the sequel to Superstar Soldier, which is the follow-up, which is the prequel to Star Soldier 64. Yeah, Red Book Audio definitely had the game with audio, and the music goes really hard. Like it's really good. All right, so let's. All right, because I wanna just blast through a couple of these, because then you guys, like, who here? Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. I want to see if this is. I don't think this is going to be in English, and I think that's going to be a bummer. That's a great piece of audio right there. Oh, it was the Sega CD version with the Red Book audio. Okay. I don't think this game's good. If this game's in English, I will play through this game. I don't think that's English. I wonder if there's a patch or something you can do. Yeah. Man, the CD's taking forever to load. Yeah, it's not. All right. I mean, I think there are texts. I think there's things that you can go and get that have all the text and stuff. Fun fact, I never actually played this game. Oh, what was the question I was about to ask? I don't. Oh. How many of you have not seen Cho Aniki? I mentioned that game. That game's on here. How many of you have never seen that? Yeah, so this is like, I have no idea what any of this is. So get those Japanese words off of me. All right, so. All right. What did you call me? Bobobo reference? I've seen the PS1 version. Oh, I died. I wasn't paying attention. Oh, that is easy. Have a good one. I have to get to a boss. You have to see a boss. The music is. Whoa. So what was the plot of this game? Because I've seen the game, but I don't know the actual plot. They're like I remember the bodybuilder bosses. Yeah, I don't actually know the plot of this game. I mean, it's just shoot 'em up, so you don't really need the plot too much. Oh God, it's a one-hit kill game too. I had this dream once. No plot, just chaos. And didn't I have bombs? Yeah, there we go. I had bombs that I could use before. There we go. Reminds me of I knew it as Stinger. What the heck were they called? Twinbee. Twinbee was a series of shoot 'em ups that were just very strange. Remember Parodius? We played Parodius. And it was like the Gradius spoof. Look at look how jacked he is. Gradius was enough LSD to drop an elephant. Look at that. It's like flexing at me. Oh, oh. Jack Bird. Wait, isn't that who was the Jack Bird from Ravenbeak? Was it Ravenbeak from Metroid Dread? That's a Jack Bird. Get him. I thought there was more music. How many of these games were there? How many of these Choaniki games were there? Too many. 3? Kind of thought there was more. Oh no, I died.
5, 4, 3.
This game's great. Oh yeah, hold on. Let's pick the other character. Wait, what is she? Is she wearing like a? Is she naked with a nightgown on? Is this safe? Is this safe for stream? Clearly ahead of its time with the Giga Chat energy. Pick a man when you play Choaniki. I don't know which one that is. It could be both or neither.
Build.
Does it say beard? Whoa, look.
Five.
I got... Wait, what did that just say? I got another dude. Or pick a woman because you won't see other women. Yeah, if Stellar Blade is safe, anything is. Is Stellar Blade safe? I don't know. I feel like there are outfits in Stellar Blade that might push the limit. I still want to get that game too. Yeah, it does kind of look like Arnie. He's got the flat top head. I'm so terrified that these things are going to hit me. The big things in the background. They remind me of the heads from the Airman stage in Mega Man 2. Had the little drills that would come up on the side. What the? Oh, it's a different... What in the world?
Okay.
What? Okay. I still don't know how to process this game. Oh, wait, this guy showed up very differently than before. I annihilated him. I was just typing that. Yeah, the Airman stage. The Airman stage. I don't know what these things are that I'm picking up. Yeah, this is delightfully ridiculous. It's crazy because now I don't know. I think I'm gonna play Lunar, but I kind of want to play this. Hold on. There were 10 Choaniki games. 3 were Japanese mobile games. Bongo want to see the best part. Uh-oh. What did I just hear? Hold on, what's this? Choniki. Are they on the Switch? What is it, all of them? Choniki Collection's on the Switch. It came out in January. Oh, they're all on there? How much is that? How much is it? I can't see the price for it. It was remastered. It was it's not even just a collection of them, it was just full on remastered. Oh damn it, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, that was unnecessary. Oh, come on! Why did it move forward that much? $30.95 on sale, normally $38.69. Is there a physical of that? Is there a physical of the remastered collection release? Okay, I barely touched the thing.
5,
All right, let's just see what happens when it goes away.
3, 2,
This is unironically a cool game.
1, 0. もうダメだ。
Oh, that is nightmare fuel. That guy's a little. What in the world? That guy's a little nightmare fuel, huh? He looked like the colossal titan right at the end there. Apparently, the order for the Star Soldier franchise: Star Soldier, Super Star Soldier, Final Soldier, Soldier Blade, Vanishing Earth 64, and then Star Soldier R. I think this game has deeper lore. There is a physical. Okay, from PlayAsia. All right. I wonder if the story has to do with, you know, a bodybuilding alien or something. Like Ring Fit. Ring Fit was the bodybuilding monster. Oh wait, hold on. Let's watch all of this. Look, they are like bodybuilding aliens have enslaved mankind or something. What is going on? Your guess is as good as mine. Was that Broly? Ring Fit Monster was just... Oh, he was the leader of the Sins from Sonic Lost World. Alright, so it's on. So unfortunately, Snatcher isn't... That sucks. Alright, so let's try Sapphire. We'll probably try Sapphire and maybe one or two others. So this is another game. Like, I know of it being an expensive, hard-to-find game, but I never actually have played it. I think those are our allies, like the Titan. Well, yeah, because there was the one muscular dude flying with me. Now loading. Okay, you know you don't actually have to do that, right? Was that the Bomberman racing game? Was there a Bomberman racing game?
西暦2092年、繁栄を極めた人類はやがて訪れるであろう落日に向かい、次第に疲弊していくかのようであった。
Yeah, they emulated the load times. You can leave some of that stuff out. I don't know, because there is kind of cool artwork on the load screen, so you might want to see that. Oh, wait, we picked cool anime girl. Hold on, we'll go cool anime girl. Power will race on the back of a kangaroo. All right, we'll take a look at that. There's no music there? Oh. Okay. Ooh, this actually looks really, really good. Love the audio. Oh, God. What's happening? Whoa, what the hell happening down there? Is that the head from Cybermorph on the Jaguar? Where did you learn to fly? Aw. You know what game's not on here, and I'm kind of bummed out about it? There was a fantastic game called Cybercore. Oh my God, I'm getting decimated. Yeah, there was a game. I have it for American. It's called Cybercore. That was a terrific shoot 'em up. Whoa. Woo! This game. Oh no! Game's hectic. I like it. I can see why it costs so much money. Well, not really, but I don't see why it costs that much money. Any response for level 1 seems kind of BS. It's a hectic game. That's why you gotta understand. When you look at these older games, a lot of people are expecting. That's a pretty sick looking boss right there. A lot of people are expecting an older game. You know, they moved a lot slower. There wasn't as much going on, but some of these games were actually pretty busy. TurboGrafx is the only console I haven't played. The only game I played was Street Fighter 1. It looks like a treasure game. Yeah, this is these games like this, like the real busy ones. This is like the precursor to when you got like the cave shooters. Oh man, you know the ones that were the bullet hells. You know, what's the Toho? Right? Isn't that the company that's like the really you're dodging raindrops when you play that game? Yeah, and they wanted your quarters, you know, if they were arcade games, because some of these were home console games. You're not getting my quarters. Oh, wait, let's try that. Try a different ship. You know, you're not getting my quarters on a home console game. Yeah, bullet hells. That's what I was trying to think of. Bullet hells. So when you do the bullet hells, what's the one that I'm trying to think of? Giga Wing. There was a game called Giga Wing that was on the Dreamcast. Giga Wing 1 and 2. Like, those games were kind of crazy, but they have their origins in these games. Not just that they're shoot 'em ups, but there were shoot 'em ups back then that were hectic. That's actually an amazing, it's kind of a great visual. Whoa. Hell, this is wild. This game's awesome. No, let me go. I glitched out the audio so it didn't make a noise. Oh no. Let me go. Oh, you have there's a I don't know if that's a struggle mechanic or if there's just a window. Oh, come on, no way. What's the power bomb look like there? Oh, that's a cool death screen right there. What's this? So it was a series, not a company. Yeah, that was just one dude named Zune. He has a quad laser. Okay. Caves on OG Amazing Bullet Hell. Yeah, like Dodonpachi and stuff. Death Smiles. Death Smiles 1 and 2. That's on. I think it's on the Switch, right? Isn't Death Smiles 1 and 2 on the Switch? Mushihime Sama. Where do I know that one from? What system was that one on? Yeah, I'll have to go back to that. I'm glad someone else watched Aqua Teen. I haven't watched Aqua Teen in forever. I didn't watch it nearly as much as other people did, though. Mishima-sama is the one with the bug girl. I'll have to look it up. Galaxy 88, Fantasy Star. Oh, somebody asked about Dragon Spirit, so you can see Dragon Spirit. Yeah, I'm super happy to have this. Yeah, so it's a shoot 'em up and you're a dragon, and then your power-ups will evolve your dragon. Oh, and you can shoot the ground too, so there'll be ground-based stuff that you got to shoot at. Look, I just kill all the dinosaurs. See, this is what they don't teach you in your history class. Welcome to Jurassic Park. You just fly around dropping bombs on brontosauruses. See, this is probably what I think a lot of people think of when they think of old school shoot 'em ups. It's very slow. There isn't a whole lot going on. You know, Ghidorah's here. Hey, a lot of spice. This Spyro game looks weird. Ah, oh no. I have devolved. Twin blasters. Get it. Ah. Did I get that and then immediately get hit? Oh, God. Dragon down. Are those trees shooting at you? I guess they're dinosaurs. Hold on. So what else we got? We'll probably do just one more. Only game in this genre I've been interested in was the one I got a good 3DS port. I forget the name. You sure did. Oh, wait. You wanted to see if that was the Bomberman. This is Bomberman 94. This is Panic Bomber. This wasn't a racing game, was it? Galaga 88. Gate Ball. Is that a croquet game? Is this croquet? Hold on. Sure. Oh, wait, am I picking all the players? Oh, it is. It's a croquet game. I don't know anything about this. Damn! Yeah, I guess it's a croquet game. All right, I'll have to look up the rules so I can understand what to do with that one. I'd love to see Soldier Blade. So let me see here. So this is. Oh wait, hold on. I wanted to make sure that this was. See if this was Bonk. I still don't. I can't believe that Bonk's. So this is Bonk's Adventure. This is the first one. Yeah, this is the first one. Is that Krillin? Woo! Oh, wait. Come on! I want to get the power up. I like when he gets all powered up. Is it this one? So this is he's just stronger here, and he does that. And then when you get another one, or you get the big one, he gets the power up, the big power up. Hold on. Go! And then it should be the first boss. The closest Greg will get to Persona. Wait, this? If this is close to Persona, look how angry he is. Oh wait. Oh, it was made by Atlas. Oh wait, aren't there other Atlas games that I would like? I like Atlas as a company. I feel like I've definitely played something from Atlas. I just don't know what. What would I have played from Atlas? Oh, there goes the big one. Yeah, I've played a lot of stuff from them, right? Shin Megami Tensei? No, definitely didn't play that. Get up. 13 Sentinels. I never finished 13 Sentinels, but I did kind of enjoy that game. Catherine, I never played through. Whoa. Somebody had, a couple people had Catherine full body. Oh, I hit the thing. Yeah, I did like Metaphor. For what I played of Metaphor from the demo, I actually did really enjoy that. I played Trauma Center. I really loved Trauma Center. I didn't play the second one, Under the Knife. I didn't play Under the Knife. I think that was the second one. Oh no, he's dead. Strain Odyssey, Catherine Dragon's Crown. Oh yeah, Odin Sphere. That was them. No, Odin Sphere. You know what? Oh, you know what the problem is, Lilac? I think of Odin Sphere and Dragon's Crown. I think of those as Vanillaware. So I know that they're affiliated, I guess, but yeah, I know them as Vanillaware. This is kind of gross. Ow. But I'm assuming they were made by, what is this? I'm not paying attention here. Oh, Atlas is their default publisher. Okay, it's Vanillaware's default publisher. They were made by Atlas, so they were made by Vanillaware, published by Atlas. I should probably pay attention. Oh, he's sleeping. I want to get to the first boss, and then we'll do what did you want to see? Soldier Blade, right? Yeah, Vanillaware, bring your games to Switch too. And you know what? While you're at it, Muramasa Demon Blade. What the hell? How is that game not anywhere else? How is that game on the Wii and the Vita, and then nowhere else? Would you get in there? Oh wait, this is. I have to swim. Yeah, we're not going to talk about what those things look like. Ow. Is that it? That was it. Okay. They also made Etrian Odyssey. I never played the Etrian Odyssey games. I never played those. Is it Etrian Odyssey? What's the one that it was like a dungeon crawler where you make the maps as you go through? Let's see here. There's a Valkyrie. Oh wait, Soldier Blade. Soldier Blade was on TurboGrafx. Ronan, I was looking for a copy of it. Apparently, it's sold out everywhere. Everywhere I go and look for a copy of that game, nobody has it. Atlas made the hit games Snowboard Kids on N64, which is definitely not overpriced and awkward to find nowadays. That's the point of the whole series. So I think I played a demo for one of the Etrian Odyssey games. Oh yeah, no, I thought Unicorn Overlord was also Vanillaware. Well, same problem, right? You might have to buy it digitally. When I think shoot 'em up music, this is exactly what pops into my head. Something like this. It's so like hectic, and I love moments like that in these games. There we go. Holy. I actually have this game. I have a physical copy of this game. I have this in the manual. I don't think I have the box. You ever thinking of trying the Toho games? My issue with the Toho games is I don't know what I'm supposed to play. Because when I hear Toho shooters, I've heard, you know, like I said earlier, like you're dodging raindrops. And I'd love to try it, but aren't there a bunch of different kinds of, like, aren't those Spell Bubble games them? And they're like the Puzzle Bobble Bust the Move clones? There we go. Okay, so your power attack. Oh, do you build it back up, or? So your power attack. Oh, okay. So when you use your power attack, it burns the weapon you have. So then I switched to one of the other weapons. That was kind of cool. You might like the Tohovania. What's the That's not Wonder Labyrinth. That's not a Toho game, is it? What's the Toho? There is a Tohovania game that I saw. No, I've never heard of Tyrion other than Lannister. Only the shmups are actual Toho games. Everything else are fan games. Toho Luna Nights. Thank you. That's the one that I was thinking of. Yeah, Toho Luna Nights. Yeah, that one's supposed to be really decent. I heard that one was really good. Vanishing Earth, rather than different powers, you get 3 different ships with different upgrade and shot types. I love shoot 'em ups, but holy smokes, if you want to collect them physically, they are absurdly expensive. Prohibitively so. Like it's tough to get into shoot 'em ups if you want to physically collect. I don't think that there's another genre of games that holds their value as far as like cash value like shoot 'em ups. I think that shoot 'em ups over the course of time becomes like I said, the Sapphire game. You know, that game is ridiculously expensive. Tyrion is an old PC shooter like this made by Epic. Ooh. You're not going to believe what I found today. What'd you find? Did you find a copy of Sapphire at your local Wendy's? I say JRPGs come close. There's still a ton on Famicom, Super Famicom, PS1 only. I think that, you know what I think the difference is about stuff like that? With the rare exceptions, right? Like Snatchers. Well, no, because Snatcher US doesn't have the problem. It's that for as rare as those games might be to find, I feel like people don't engage with them and collect them as much because they can't understand them. You know, a Japanese Snatcher is significantly cheaper than an an English Snatchers because it's hard to play the game. So, like, you know, Japanese RPGs, sure, but I feel like if you're for a lousy one language American, a lot of that stuff is inaccessible. But you don't need to understand the story to play a shmup. So I feel like they hold their value well. Most people start with Toho 6 as the popular ones. Oh, whoa! Oh my god, scared the hell out of me. I wanted to pick up I never picked them up, the Dodonpachi games. There's a Dodonpachi Resurrection, I think. I wanted to pick that up. Whoa. Nah. Oh god. Japanese Snatcher is cheaper than a U.S. Snatcher. That is certainly a sentence. Toho Creator is a Giga Chat who lets people monetize their fan game. Is that why there's so many fan games? I found an Uncle Fester new Addams Family arcade machine. Well, Uncle Fester with the light bulb. Uncle Fester new Addams Family. I don't think I've ever even heard of that. My problem with shmups is that I just get into them and then I just want to keep playing them. Ton of fan Toho stuff from Castlevania style to Mega Man style. Yeah, I guess Brian. I guess somebody has to make Mega Man games. I guess someone's gotta do it since Capcom forgot. What else did I want to try? There was one other game I wanted to try. Fan games, fan anime, fan manga. Oh wait, this is Ninja Gaiden. Did I play Axelay? I did. That game is hard as balls. Axelay, I have the hardest time playing it. It's gorgeous to look at, but it's so difficult. What the hell? They cut out all the story. Hold on. All right, I think I got the fly. It's Ryu. It's Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden. Oh my god, this game is. Wow, this actually Whoa, wait. What? You know what? This is kind of interesting. All right, new thug. Here's your baseball bat. Now remember to just walk forward and swing it. Can I do anything else? Or, no. Oh, respawning enemies. This is interesting. Atlas developed Friday the 13th and Karate Kid on the NES. Okay, so Karate Kid is awesome. Karate Kid on the NES was actually really good. Friday the 13th, that's a, you know, we all know. We know the legend. Ow, ow. Oh, get it. Stop it. Stop it, dog. Can I get a health pickup or something? Whoa. So that was almost a 1-to-1 level for... See if it's the same boss. It is. So let's see if this has all the story and stuff. The background scrolling's a bit annoying. It's interesting. It's interesting to see it in motion. Holy, that's annoying. Does it have all the cutscenes and everything? Oh, it does. I've never played this version of the game. This is actually kind of wild. Yeah, because there goes Irene Liu, and she shoots me. Let's see if it's the same scene. It's gonna pan down. Yeah, gonna pan down. She's gonna be pointing a pistol at me. She shoots. I wake up in prison, but she gets me out, and she gives me the statue. Because this was like her ability to get me into the prison, so that she can give me the statue and I can leave with it. That also might be made to due to not being made for a clear screen. So let's see if this stage has it too. Yeah, so she's gonna give me the statue and tell me to get out of here with it. Got the fly. Oh, you know what? I owe somebody a Gonzalez suit. I'm sorry, I forgot that from earlier. Ah, Gonzalez, ore wa suyoi, ore ika arashiru wa pointo. Ooh. I like the reflection on the lanterns. I still think one of the biggest issues with games like this, where you pick up a power-up and you just lose the one that you had. So that you don't want to pick up one by... Oh my god! I gotta ask this. Go for it. Do I think I'm a ninja? The answer is no. But I could be. All right, we can confirm that the death music is the same. All right, I've never actually played that version of the game. That's actually kind of amazing. That's pretty decent too. Star Party for Spriggan. Uma Musume content. What's that mean? Are there any IPs you want Sega to bring back like they are with Shinobi and others. IP that I'd like Sega to bring back. I mean, I'd like a really fleshed out Rocket Knight Adventures, but I don't know if that was them. No, that wasn't them. That was Konami, actually. I don't know. That's tough. Because you mentioned Streets of Rage, or Streets of Rage. I thought Streets of Rage was really good, so I'm happy that had a sort of resurgence. I don't know. It's hard for me to like. I feel like I would need to see a list in front of me of what was there. Oh, it's a gotcha horse girl. Oh, that's the one with the horse girls that they run. Okay. Yeah, Konami did make another Rocket Knight. We're gonna talk about that. Yeah, I feel like I need a list of Sega stuff. I mean, I'd like for them to bring back Panzer Dragoon Saga, but you know, well, I don't know what's gonna. I don't even know if they're bringing back Panzer 2. I'm not playing this, by the way. That's just the attract mode. Was there anything else I wanted to see with you guys? Dungeon Explorer, Newtopia. Oh, this is. Hold on. We'll go to Newtopia. Newtopia is Newtopia is. This was supposed to be TurboGrafx Zelda. It wasn't bad. Horse girls. Yeah, girls that are supposed to be like horses, not centaurs. That's a different show. Oh, I thought they shot somebody. In the ancient land of Newtopia, a bad thing happened. Pop, pop. Should we ask SA2, SA1 2 remake? Sega has zero interest in interviews. Play Rondo already. Oh, you better buy Shinobi and all the other stuff Sega franchise, or else we'll get Sega going forward like Sonic, like a Dragon, and Persona. I mean, to be fair, Persona, you know, Persona's getting the proper amount of attention. Oh my god. This is what the turbo button's for. Can I just leave? No? Yeah, I don't know. I'm having a hard time thinking. I'm having a hard time thinking of, yeah, this is, if anybody had any doubts about whether or not this was a Zelda-inspired game. There. Okay, there we go. Oh, wait. Oh, that's like Return to the Thingy. No, because Meeker actually gets games. Recent interview Sega basically that all our resources would be better spent making a new Sonic game. Sort of like the Sonic Shadow Generations. Yeah, like what are you talking about? You know, we'd be better off making a new Sonic game. So make a new Sonic game. I like a new new Shining. Ooh, Shining Force. This would be a good time to bring back Shining Force. What was the other RPG? It was Shining Force. Wasn't there another Fantasy? Oh, Phantasy Star. Phantasy Star. I would like a new Phantasy Star game. Yes. If you want to revive something, Sega, bring back Phantasy Star. Make a new one. It's time. I think we're well into an era where a new Phantasy Star would be highly welcomed. I love a new Lunar game. Oh, I'm about to play the old one, so we'll find out. What side of Phantasy Star? Base it off of 4. I wouldn't want a new, not a new Phantasy Star Online. I would want a new RPG, turn-based RPG Phantasy Star game. Phantasy Star 5. Honestly, if you came out and you called it Phantasy Star 5, I think people's heads would explode. But we have PSO2. Skies of Arcadia. I think Skies of Arcadia would be worth it just to bring back remastered. You ever watch this? This is.
Seite des Friedens und des Wachstums gab und gibt es aber auch immer das Böse.
Yeah, even if I don't get a sequel, at least bring it to Steam.
Das Wachstum abzulehnen.
It split after 4. They went more action-based, and not just PSO, but Universe had an offline action game that was set up like a series. Phantasy Star is also a difficult franchise, like the early stuff to get into, because there's such a mixture of quality from some people, like the way people look at it. Like 1 was an old game, 2 had its issues. Apparently 3 is. I've heard people say they hate 3, and then 4 seems to be the one that everybody agrees where they picked up on it. And I never finished 4, but that seems to be the one that everybody says yes, they got it right.
Nach 100 Jahren der Böse wieder
Sega seems to be afraid of remastering non-Sonic Yakuza Persona games.
eine Fledermaus.
They might as well try. Just happy to plan to revive Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio. Yeah, Space Channel 5. Space Channel 5 would just be interesting. Music games, I feel like, are such a weird. Like, people don't want to do that.
Der Burgherr des Teufelsschlosses.
I love 1 and 4. 2 was good. 3 had issues.
Dracula ist auferstanden.
1 and 2 were also well remembered. Well, 1 was the one on Master System, right? So I think a lot of people, in the U.S. anyway, a lot of people didn't even get it because they didn't even have the system. That was a hell of a sound. Yeah, that one. Run! What am I doing? Oh, you have to enter a name first. Axe Armor. Which Castlevania is this? So this is Rondo of Blood. This is probably one of the better platform games. And then it's 4 years after this game is Symphony of the Night. Oh, no. It's been quite a while since we heard about the Sega revival plan. We haven't heard or seen. No, yes, we have, Dragoon. We've seen Shinobi. We haven't heard about the other ones, but we've seen Shinobi. They showed a trailer for it. I forget when that came up. Music games could work. Crossover promotionals with Just Dance and Space Channel 5 is right there. I mean, you can do them, but I don't know. I wonder, I wonder how many of them still come out. Is that name a cheat code? Like, help me in Symphony of the Night. If you name your your file Axe Armor, you start with the Axe Armor item in your inventory. We've seen the new Jet Set Radio, but they're a ways off. Was Shinobi part of that? No, I think Shinobi was part of that, wasn't it? I could have sworn Shinobi was a part of it. Yeah, Shinobi was a part of the initiative. Does the Konami code do anything? No. They kind of stopped doing that. I don't know other than little quirky things. I don't really know any. This isn't a modern game, but after a while, I don't remember. Like, we have Gradius 2 on here. I don't know if it did anything in Gradius 2. We've also seen some. We saw pictures of Crazy Taxi. I haven't seen anything for Golden Axe. Did we see Golden Axe stuff? I wouldn't mind that. That'd be great. That Golden Axe is going to be great to have as a new beat 'em up. As you put in a Konami code and a window pops up asking for a microtransaction. Like, this is this presentation right here is just great. Okay, I couldn't. Hit him! My God. Hit him! He's so slow. I guess it's because it's raining. Imagine if you die right here. Can you die right here? Most overrated Belmont. Everyone loves him, but he loses the ability to wield the vampire killer because he falls to darkness like an idiot. Did he give me the I'm not like half paying attention. It was in that initial montage where they announced the IP revival initiative. Yeah. So I played the new Mario. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, this game is great. It's no Super Nintendo Dracula X, but, you know. Shinobi is being made by the same guys who made Streets of Rage 4 and the Wonder Boy remake. Now, the Wonder Boy games I probably should pick up at some point. Yeah. I forget the name of the town, of this town. Yeah. It's great. A lot of rumors of Crazy Taxis and playing live service wasn't fun for playtesters. Yeah, it's a shame because that's something that should work well. So this is no, don't go that way. So you can go that way, or you can go this way. This must have no respect for property value. Right? I think that was it. Or are you supposed to fall down? I think you're supposed to fall down. Yeah, there we go. So you can go that way, and then or is it a boss this way? Oh, wait, this thing. Ow. I think this made a funny noise when you killed it. I forgot how extreme that was. Holy. Why did it do that? It's so loud. I don't remember the point of some of like I think some of this was just kind of like it was cool and it was there. Holy average plant noises. The funny noises in Symphony. In Symphony, it did make a noise in Symphony, but not like that. That was hilarious. Oh, and going back to the Sega thing, because I think that was Sega. I said this on Blue Sky the other day. Comic Zone. A Comic Zone game. Okay, so a Comic Zone game where, you know, it draws the level as you're going in. But what I mean is, as the level is moving, it's drawing it on the sides of the screen that are now entering onto the screen. And then on the sides that are leaving the screen, it's erasing the board. You now have the technology to do something like Comic Zone in an amazing way, where it's drawing the screen at the edges as you're moving around. And then you can have them actually jumping from page to page and panel to panel for different artwork. Have your character start out like a regular comic book character, right? Regular hero character. And then all of a sudden they jump through something and they're an anime version of themselves. And now it's an anime character. It's a 1920s, right? Your Cuphead style. Like I think there's so many interesting ways to do that. And Sega should do a live service thing to just print money. Chow Garden mobile app where you can interact with friends and stuff. I mean, yeah, it's like somebody said, I don't know how they haven't done that yet. How have you not done that yet? Is Plucky Squire a Comic Zone spirituals? I haven't played Plucky Squire. I remember it had a bunch of like technical problems, so I didn't play it. Oh, wait, hold on. The holy water. Oh no! Oh wait, hold on. I didn't actually check something. Does this have like rewind? I guess there's no kind of rewind. Whoops! I didn't mean to do that. What was that? Oh, that was the up and what's it called? Plucky Squire kind of does exactly what you're asking for. So it does actually do something like that. No! No. Plucky Squire. I thought Plucky Squire was gonna be amazing. Like when I first saw it, I was so like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. And then all I heard was a bunch of technical problems. Proto Blues rating with a party of 1. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the stream. Ow. Doesn't he do the thing where he wraps around? Yeah, that's what I was waiting for. Ow. Oh my god. I'm doing terrible. Ah, no. Hey, Vanilla. I forgot you were here. All right, hold on. Let me get my weapons back here. I probably should just stick with the axe if I get it. Whoa. All right, so this one, and then this one. There we go. Yeah, the boomerang's fine. Aha. Plucky Squire's less Legend of Zelda and more mini games and puzzles. Never get rid of the axe unless it's Castlevania. Yeah, and you know what? That's where that comes from. That instinct to not have the axe comes from the terrible axe of Castlevania 1. But it is actually a really good weapon. I'm so used to it not being a good weapon. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, my instinct is Holy Water because Holy Water is just such a great weapon. Whoa. Oh my god, I'm doing terrible. Get over here. Why am I doing so bad? Holy. Has it really been that long since I played a standard Castlevania game? I mean, yes, it has, but... Whoa! Ah! Oh my god! How does the run? What's this? Oh wait, I forgot I have the backflip. He has the. I think he only has the backflip in this game. He doesn't have like the slide or anything, right? Yeah, he only has the backflip in this game. Whoa. All right, I'm not gonna get the boomerang this time. Let's go with the holy water. Let's go with the holy water. So when he does the thing on the ground, I can probably burn him more. I'm playing Portrait of Ruin. It's the last Igavania I need to play. Portrait of Ruin is actually really good. They all were though. The funny thing is when you look at those 6 games, the GBA and then the DS games, even the worst one of them, whichever one that may be, even that was still a great game. No. Ow. Damn it. Whoa. No, don't die. Oh, wait, I got him. Oh, wait, he's going to do the desperation. Desperation hit. Will this kill me? Imagine if that killed me. All right, gotta end it right. No, I tried to do the backflip. Circle and Harmony are just all right. I think I think from a gameplay, that's hard to say because they are probably the two least best ones. Try to end it with him getting cooked on the head with the orb. Yeah, try the. You gotta have it. You gotta have it with like, you know. And this music. I mean, what else needs to be said about Castlevania music? All right, so. All right, that'll probably be it. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and play more Sapphire later. Fantasy Zone, like there's some really, really good games on here. The TurboGrafx, I feel bad because I think that the TurboGrafx was a terrific system that, you know, literally and figuratively was probably ahead of its time. You know, you had, I mean, you look, it had the Turbo Express Portable where you can play the home games on the thing. Oh wait, I wanted to see this game too, the Genji and the Heiki clan. I think this is the game that they were remaking. I played Bloodstained Ritual Night, which is kind of inspired. Kinda? No, not kinda. As wildly blatant as could possibly be. Yeah, it was just too expensive for its time. Yeah, I mean, bear in mind, at the time, the TurboGrafx, I think, was $200. The CD add-on was $250. And then the games, you know, it was available, but... You know, Nintendo just had such a stranglehold on everything. How do I feel about Bloodstained 2? It's not out yet, right? I mean, it's great. It's great that it's going to exist. What the hell? What am I looking at here? Holy. There's Japanese games, and then there are Japanese games. Holy. Oh my god. I'm just kind of running, but there's so much happening. What in the world? Did I enter some sort of spirit world? Oh wait, this is what happens when I hold up. So I'm standing here, I hold up, I press down. That's gotta be, wait, that's gotta be bad on his legs. Virtua Kazuma rating with a party of 3. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Look at the, the legs come up and he just drops to the ground. That's so awesome. Oh, are the candles my health? I want to get to the castle. I want to get to the actual thing because I think I remember why I know of this game. I could swear they're doing a remake of this, but it might have been something else that I was thinking of. Whoa! It's like Jason and the Argonauts. Wait, what's hitting me there? Were the bones on the ground hurting me? Oh, so I left like the spirit gate. Okay. It's like top down now. Didn't think you got the TurboGrafx 16 Mini. So that's what we were talking about. I got it at Too Many Games. I picked it up at the convention. Okay, I think I know why I know this game. Can somebody check this out for me? Ryan, you might know. Did this game have a level in the Castlevania Harmony of Despair, the multiplayer game? Didn't this game have a level in that? The hell? Alright, so I died. There was a game that wasn't a Castlevania game that had a level in that. And I hated it because it was visual vomit. There was so much happening, like from a color standpoint on the screen. There was so much going on. It like this, like see how the screen is right here? There was so much of that happening. It was hard to watch. I've never done drugs in my life. But the Turbo Mini is showing me what I've been missing. I know my console reputation back then was it was for the rich kids. Yeah, this one, like I think the consoles that had a reputation for being the expensive ones were TurboGrafx, and Neo Geo. I think that if you had one of those, Jaguar not so much, but I think if you had one of those, you had money. That's the best way to say it. Yeah, I mean, this thing is incredible. I'm so happy to have this. This is probably one of the last things that I would have really looked for at a convention, and I wasn't even like, I had basically given up hope that I was going to find it, so I didn't even bother. And it just happened to be up there. So I said, all right, this is fantastic. Say that again. Yeah, so to sort of recap, like for everybody that was here, 3DO, yeah, the 3DO, I think probably, see, here's the problem. The 3DO, I knew one person. The 3DO was so expensive that it was prohibitively so. You know, the Sega CD was kind of expensive. The TurboGrafx and the Turbo CD were expensive, but there were cheaper ways to get them. Well, not cheaper ways to get them, but the TurboGrafx, for instance. TurboGrafx wasn't really that overpriced of a system. It's just if you bought the CD attachment, that was another $250 on top of the system. Then it became holy crap. The 3DO, I think, was $700 just flat out. So that was so expensive, people just didn't buy it. They just didn't get it. I still have mine. I have two of them. I have the first Panasonic one, the OG, and then I have the Gold Star one. I never got the second Panasonic one, and I think there was a fourth one that I'm unfamiliar with. Wasn't Neo Geo a little arcade system? So Neo Geo, there's the MVS, which is the multi-video system. So when you see a Neo Geo machine in the arcade, it's an MVS. That's the stand-up arcade machine. The cartridges were a little bit smaller, but then there was the AES, which was the home system. That was the games were exactly the same. You were getting the arcade boards on a cartridge, but the cartridge was larger, and that was the home version. The home version was the AES version, and I think that was $700 back in the day. And then the games were $200 to $300 a piece. So yeah, it's funny that that's another one. That's another one that I didn't know anybody that had that. It was too expensive to have for the people that I knew anyway. And I did know somebody with a 3DO, and they didn't even have a Neo Geo. Gold Star, did Gold Star become LG? Is that who they became? All right, give me 1 second here. I'm actually getting kind of hungry. I'm still on vacation technically. Technically, I'm on vacation until Thursday, but I might actually order some food. I haven't ordered food in a long time. Give me a second here. You can get a Switch 2.5 with that money. Yeah, it's kind of wild what you can get nowadays, considering, we looked at $700 and said, yeesh. And then we look at $500. I mean, to be fair, people are looking at $500 Switch 2s and complaining. So who do I have on here? Just trying to figure out where to send you. Hang on. I'm looking to see who's on, see where I can send you. Yeah, $700 before inflation. I guess Gold Star sounded a bit too 770s. I don't know. I guess maybe. Well, the company probably changed hands. So it was. You know what probably happened? I'm gonna throw out a wild guess, Mr. L. Some company whose name began with an L bought Gold Star, and then so they were gonna call it, Lexington Gold Star, or whatever the hell it was, and then they just said no, we're gonna call it LG. That's my guess as to what happened. Actually, I'll send you here. Hold on. Actually, from what I read, it was the same corporation, and they just changed the name. Le Embracer. Oh, Le Embracer Group. There you go, LG. Weirdly, Nintendo publicly announced price changes are coming to Canada products, not including the Switch 2. They haven't clarified. Yeah, I saw that, Dragoon. I'm guessing it's going up because they made a post about it, and they're they're saying because of market conditions and stuff. That's going to be kind of interesting to raise prices, because realistically, what I will say about that is, okay, your prices went up because things happened and they're costing more money. But I do kind of wonder if at some point your prices should be going down. So realistically, this should probably just stay the same, and you should probably just take the profit cut, just because. And I've said before, I said plenty of times, they're going to support the Switch 2 for at least another 1.5 or 2 years. So I don't think that it's a surprise that they're going to make moves to keep selling the Switch 1. But it is kind of interesting that you wouldn't just sort of leave it as is, and then if you're losing profit on it, explain that we would like to drop the price on it, but we're costs have gone up, so we have to leave it the same. Like I feel like that will be fine. So it's kind of interesting. I mean, we're all still kind of guessing. We're also kind of guessing what they're gonna do, but the expectation is that it's gonna. If the fact that they put out something kind of means that it's gonna go up. Newmar says that company raised the price, the last gen price. Nintendo has the new. It's just Nintendo has the new thing now. So yeah, so you have to do something with the old thing, but they're going to support the old thing for a while. I'm interested to see when they come up with the next sales figures in a couple of months. How many more the Switch 1 has sold. Hey Chaos, I've been okay. I had a really good weekend. Very high highs, and 1 or 2 low lows. Not Adventures of Lolo, but yeah, it was kind of a weird weekend, but it was ultimately just very, very good. So I've been okay. I hope you're doing okay as well. All right, but I think that is going to do it for today. So thank you everybody for stopping in and for hanging out. I really, really, very, very, very much appreciate it. If you happen to be at Too Many Games and I met you, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And, just in general, I just appreciate all the love and support that you guys give. Thank you so much. It's fun to just do this stuff, but, and it's tough. It sucks because I can't do it as much as I want to, but when I do it, you guys are here and you hang out, and, I was kind of worried that figured we're going a little bit later. I wasn't sure how many people were going to be able to hang out for that. So I'm glad you guys were able to hang out for it. I very much appreciate it. I have off the next couple of days, but I don't know what's going to happen. I might try to stream a little bit. Again, the issue is just going to be I don't want to get into playing a game, right? I can't start an RPG or anything, just because it would be very difficult since I don't know what my schedule is going to be. So if we're able to stream either tomorrow, it's 2 a.m. over there. Well, I appreciate that, Ronan. Thank you. I've been up to at least midnight for the last couple of days, so it's good to see that other people are doing that too. So we'll figure out what we want to play. If we want to play something together, maybe if I'm on tomorrow, we can play some Mario Kart. I can try and get on a little bit earlier, and maybe we can do some Mario Kart together, or we can do late night Mario Kart. Maybe I'll. I got it. You know what I still got in my fridge? I still got some Sapporo beers. So maybe we'll have for the first time ever. Maybe we'll have a stream. Cause you know what? Cause tomorrow, for anybody that doesn't know, tomorrow, July 1st, Wednesday, July 2nd, my birthday. It'll be my birthday. So maybe I'll do a late night stream tomorrow into my birthday, and it'll be happy birthday to me when it hits midnight over here. Just before the stream, I got Zelda Skyward Sword Tetris 99 background. Happy early birthday. Thank you. Yeah, so maybe we'll. I don't know if I get in trouble for that, right? Will I get in trouble for drinking beers on stream, or do they have to know it's beer? Can I have sudsy apple juice while we stream? I don't know if we can do that. Thank you, Vanilla. Thank you, Dragoon. Birthday is the same day as the. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. the Bandai Direct. Bandai's doing a Direct, and it is on July 2nd. That is actually my birthday, so maybe we'll watch that. All right, but for right now, I'm going to send you over to Omni Mitch, who seems to be playing Kirby's Adventure. So stick around after the credits, and I will send you over there to hang out and represent us very well. Thank you once again, everybody, for stopping in and for hanging out. Don't forget to drink. Wait, let me get my buttons ready here. There we go. Don't forget to drink your mask, wear your water, social distance whenever possible. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. And I will see you all possibly tomorrow